nicely, Bronson. Got to use the yogurt up. Wait a minute. Can have a yogurt. You ready, Bronson? Nice one. Looks lovely, chunky yogurt. Nice yogurt. We love a bit of yogurt. Oh, we do. No, I ain't got no more. Well, I have. I've got a pot. Let me just have a quick bite to eat. God, she's thick and creamy. Where's your pot? Let's go and get your pot. I'll put you some in your pot. And you can have a bit. Oh, yeah. Is that the one, Bronx? Yeah, it looks like it, because it's that bloody pot noodle wing. You know. Nice. We're going to just... wait a minute. Wait. Oh, look. Now it's all over your face. Oh, for crying out loud, Bronson. You just don't wait in 5 minutes. Jesus. What's up with that dog? Bob, take it away. It's going to go on me fucking Bartop. I mean, just, what's named on it? How have you got it on your head? You've got splashes all over your head. Unbelievable. But it's like a dog that just wants to get everywhere. Take it over there. It's fucking fireworks, God forbid. Poncho, I don't even know you managed to get it over your head. No. Where's your dish? Where's your dish? Yeah. I need to put some in a dish. I need chapter 11. Thick and creamy. Take over there. Sit. Wait. 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 Jesus, Bronson, you do eat it quick. I can't keep up with you. You eat quicker than Davies. Now, take the pot. Take it over there. Just take the pot. Lovely. Better get dancing in 90s. Yeah, have a biscuit. Then piss off, leave me alone. Robert, no, I've got the bloke. Well, look, I can't take no more in. So we want number 11. There's 11. Got any more 11? Yep, there is 11, 12, 13 and 14. Better watch out for the 90s. Better watch out for the 90s. Have you got it all over your head, Dick? I don't know. Unbelievable, Bunsen. You are not normal, my boy. What a pig. Jesus. Welcome back to the arcade Bartop Lego build of the Pac-Man. We are on episode 11 of 14. We've come a long way comparing. We've had to make all this up and we've got there. Hi Chill, how you doing buddy? Yep, thank you very much. Hi Chill, it's me innit? I'm Chill. Yeah, so we're back on the tracks now. I've just had a quick bite of a yoghurt. As my dog, how the heck does he manage to get yoghurt on his head? I kid you not. Come here, Ponce. Come here. He's got bloody yoghurt on his head. And he has. Look, literally. He's got yoghurt. Come here. Look, he's got bloody yoghurt on his head. He had a yoghurt pot. He's kicked the yoghurt pot over there. And he's managed to keep yoghurt all on his bonce. You're supposed to eat it, not... You know, not get it on your bonce, boy, I tell you. Unbelievable. He's not normal, that dog. Comparing, I weren't going to get no more dogs. I really got that one laid on me right at the last minute. Oh, dog love. Yeah, I would do if I have an ass, if I have a flat left after he wrecks it. I mean, what did he do last week? He threw a ball up in the air. It bounced off the wall. I kid you not. It literally nearly missed my sign of my wall, right? It ricocheted off the floor, and it just, I don't know, it didn't even hit the TV. He just flung it. And it was just one of them flings that it was just a dead shot, and I was so lucky. Yoghurt too. Yeah. He's literally unbelievable. Mind you, he's good with fireworks now. He's not bothered. So... Now, this packet is... Oh, alright, I'll take it back. I was going to say, oh, we ain't got no small packets in here. Yeah, there is. This one's got 2. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to put 2... These ones are quite big, because they're pieces. Oh, I might as well. So, the last episode, again, in that last build, in that packet... Yeah, I should be alright, because they're all mainly big pieces. In that last build, I made a foo-foo of making these towers, right? Because I was copying, obviously, when you're doing 14 build, you know, stopping and doing this, everything else, you can easily make a mistake on doing Lego, and I kid you not, it is challenging, and this one is challenging, even at 2,600 and whatever the pieces are at the end of it. So you even looking at these pages all look the same, so you misread the signs of putting these together. So when I've done that top one, I just assume it'd be at the bottom one as well. No, it's actually different, because it has to lean in line with all this mechanism, right? And we weren't no pieces short. It's just that I was just too damn bloody lazy. Thought, oh, no, that's all right, I'll do that 4 times. Well, it's confusing in the book, because it says sometimes 2, sometimes 4. And I thought it said 4 times on that. No, the bottom one is slightly different to the top one. So then it had the correct colour line, and it had all the pieces to fit. But we are there, and I got that right, because this piece wasn't right as well. So I had to go back to episode 8, look back to make sure, and this was wrong. So I had to rectify this. So now we're right. So now we've got the full working maze on everything. So you can actually see now of the characters all moving. So when it turns the wheel, it's mechanically all moving. And it's running, it's really smooth, which is cool. So right, yeah, I'd like to see Andy try this one. Yeah, I mean, blimey, I mean, it really is a challenge. I mean, there is no exaggeration. If anyone's going to get one of these Bartop or Pac-Man ones, good luck. You know, so, well, that's why I'm trying to go into detail as much as possible to help someone out. So they, you know, if they do run into an headache, they can think, oh yeah, you're right. I've got that problem, you know. So, right, here we go again. Right, first things first. We need, we don't need that for the minute, so I'll leave that to one side at the end of it. So it look like we need, let's take my glasses off, because I'm sort of, once I ain't got no more. You think you're going to have more bloody yoghurt, you can think again. I've got no more yoghurt. Right, this is the only thing putting too much on the table. Lucky enough, ain't too bad. I'm sure we can sort of wing it. Right, one flat piece, cool. 4 of the long flat ones, so that's 1, 2, no, yeah, 3, 4, cool. 1 massive long black one, and that's the only ones on there, cool. Oh, we got 2. Oh no, we only need 1. Now we need a light colour. Is that a light grey? That looks like a light grey 6. Oh, 2 of them. Yeah, 2 of the light grey 6. We need, hold up, we need 1 of these flat ones with the bit sticking out, so it's slightly raised. We need 1 of them, and we need 3, oh, there's a little bit of glass. It looks like a little bit of perspex on there. So I wonder what that's going to be. It's going to be interesting. Hold up a minute. What's that, a 3? That looks like a 3, it is. And now I know it's a 3. Because if you count, in between, you've got the 3 little dots. So when it says 3, it says times 3. But I always look at these ones as well, because that looks like the right size that you need. So that's another way I'll normally to tell. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, I just, you know, it's a guess. Because again, this might as well be in Chinese or Greek. Trying to understand it half the time it's nigh impossible. Yeah, we got 3 of them, the blank ones. Right, so what's this actually building? Oh no, it ain't. It says I've got to have 11. I thought it says 1. Oh, see, it's my eyesight at the end of the day. Got to have 11. Wow. Right, okay. Well, that's going to take a big portion down, and they're right in front of me. So it's 3, 4, 5. No, that one's different. Can't have that one. Better double check these. There's 3, 4, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Right, cool. 11. Wow. I'll be glad when this build's done. Seriously. I probably would have got back of it back in the early days when I used to do Lego, but I don't know about it not now. I mean, I only wanted it to go with me retro stuff. It's the only reasons why I bloody bought it. Right, so it looks like we've got to put 4 on one, right, and then 2 hanging over. Yeah. So you're looking at on here, you put the grey 6 brick, so 2 is hanging over. So one's hanging, the full one's sitting on it, and then the remaining bit. So I suppose that's next for the next part. Yes, it is. So we leave that to one side. We take the long, thin black one, and we hang it over onto the black brick. So again, snap it on. So now you've got a nice long snap side. And I suppose what's that going to do? Yep, as I thought, put all of them so they're all laying in parallel with each other on that side. How did I know it was going to be like that? I was saying it's good. It's supposed to be apparently this is supposed to be stimulation for your brain. Yeah, right. Good luck in that at the end of the day. Now, this one is different. Why is that one different? Oh, I see. So we've got to extend what we've done at that end. 4 of the ones, right. So what we've done, we've extended that all the way along. So it's all nice and sitting. So it's situated on there. But again, that looks it looks bent, innit? It looks like it's bowed. I mean, that's Lego. I mean, I can just tell even by looking at that, that is not straight. I mean, I know it's got some flex, you can see it. It's got some flex to it. But this is what happens with plastic. It warps, a bit like wood at the end of it. It's not great at the end of it. So, anyway, now let's get the correct orientation for the next part, which I've done up to that page. So we're up to page 246, going on to page 247 out of 364. So we're gradually, it's creeping up. And I mean, this is packet 11 out of 14, so it is getting there. It is definitely getting there. So what we need to do next then, we now need all these bits to be putting on here, by the looks of it. So what we need is the low end, not the high end. We need the low end to put the long pieces and some of the short pieces on. So short piece to go on first at always the corners, because again that bites that brick over, so then it gives it agility. Well, he's supposed to. That's what he says. I don't know if that's true or not. Then a long one, and then another long one, and then another. Oh, mind you, hold up a minute. Why have I got... What? Is that right? No. No, something's not right here. Then one of these is wrong. So unless these bricks, these short bricks, I need to have a shorter brick. Let's double check. I think I do, I think they're not that one there. They're for the other one. And we've got to have 3. Yeah, looks like you need 3 of the... Oh, you might need them. But also it says that you need shorter bricks. You need the 3 short ones. Yeah, and there's 2. Yeah, got 1 of 2 and there's some of 3. So what do I need? Let's wing it. Let's go by look. So I've got to take that back off. I knew this so weren't right. So the 2 brick covers, how many does it cover? It should cover 3, and it does cover 3. So it was the 2 bricks on this. Let me put guys, because I can't see your comments, but bad eyes, you know. To be honest, I love Lego. I used to spread Budo back in the day. Do you know what? When you used to just put it in, when you had it in your bedroom, I used to have one of them bloody carpet. Did you remember having one of them carpet rugs that had the garage built on the rug? There was road signs, little buildings, and things like that. And you used to put your toy cars and drive it round a virtual. So it feels like you had a virtual track. To go shopping and pick up the groceries and go to the petrol garage and things like that. That was where I had one of them. And I know it was back in the early days, and that I used to just laugh on that front. But yeah, now let's check them others. Yeah, so I was right. You do need some of the 2s and 3s. So yeah, they was the back of the ones that used to make me laugh on that front. But yes, you are right. They Lego used to just spread it all over the floor, right? And what used to make me laugh is usually your mum and dad saying, "For crying out loud, I just tried one of your bloody Lego bits there and it bloody hurt my foot." Or it got sucked up in the Hoover, or the dog managed to fucking swallow it or something, and then you're thinking, well, where's my Lego bits? Because you used to zip it out. And he used to, most of the time, they give you a little book, because we never had the internet back in not in the 80s. The dial-up didn't come out to the early 90s on that front. It did make me laugh because, but I used to just I was like you, just tipped it out and just used to say, "Oh, that'll do. I'm not bothered. That'd be all right at the end of it." So, but yeah, I couldn't find other parts then. And what am I doing? I could even cock up the parts now, and that was back over 40 years ago. So you still end up, trying to wing it and thinking, "Oh, just tip it out, it'll be all right." So yeah, it was fun. I've got to admit, it did make me laugh on that. But yeah, so I've done that right. So it was the 2, not the 3, because it wasn't lining up properly. So we do need some of the 3s because it's got at the bottom. So I'm not following this guide, 1 of 1, 4 of these and 6 of that. It fucking throws you off. You're trying to put it all together and you're thinking, oh, hang on a minute, you just told me I need 2 of these, 4 of these, and you're thinking, no, that's not lining up. And then now you're scratching your head. I've made more mistakes, trying to put this together by following their guide. That's how confusing it is. Perhaps in the 80s it weren't so bad. Just tip it out and just wing it, and hope for the best. So the next bit is now we need to do the front, because I've done the side bits. We leave the top parts. We now just need to do the front. But I'd like to see Andy try this. I would love to watch and see how he would struggle, because I know he loses it big time, right? And I would like him to do a complicated Lego set live and actually see him how he copes. And it would make great content. I just know it would make great content at the end of it. And I know he tries to do electricals. Yeah, you love it when it's all about the challenge. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's all about that challenge point. And I'd say, go on, just give it a go. Let's see if you can cope at the end of the day. Because I would love to see it, to sit down, and I'd sit there and I'd piss myself laughing to actually say, told ya, weren't easy. Now, this part here, no, hold up, I've done this one wrong. So we need another, see what I mean? Because I'm winging it. I need a flat piece. It's got to overhang by 2, not by 3. So 3's got to go on that, and then so on that piece here. So let me get this correct, because I want to get this right. So I've got to move that down, right? One of these have to be moved. So you need to put 2 at one and 3 at the other. even I'm struggling. And I've got to admit, it is all about the challenge on that. But yeah, it is a challenge. That's correct now. I've done it right. Right. But yeah, Andy wants to have something to do. So doing electricals, right? Go and buy yourself a Lego set and make sure it's a 2,000 piece Lego set, right? So they're doing these watches and putting these together. Because I'll tell you what, it's made my brain scramble trying to do that. And it is, I'd like to see the build to actually try and say, go on, give it a go. And then at least you've done it at the end of it. And it would be, because he always gets an audience anyway, but it'd be just great to see the comments flying and saying, because he knows he's going to lose a piece that's going to go behind a desk or on the floor. And then he's going to say, oh, for crying out loud, where's that piece gone? So yeah, it would be great to see it. So actually, maybe next in the comments when Andy's on, I'm going to suggest, Andy, why don't you get yourself a Lego set? But I know what he's going to say. No, I'm not going to get one. At the end of the day, I say, go on, don't be a spoil sport. Go and buy your Lego set. Let's see. It'll make great content at the end of it, and. Because he knows he ain't great at building things at the end of it. I just know. So, but that is bent as a fucking banana. Look at it. That is not straight. I mean, literally, that is no exaggeration. I could take the bend out slightly. I mean, it might straighten up when it goes on, but that is bent like a Cuban, like one of those cigars. It's literally curved. That's unbelievable, but it is right now because we've got one sticking out, and it does say one sticking out. That's dumb. But yeah, I'd like to see Andy do that. I really would. It'd just be fun, and see how he struggles. Because it's a fucking challenge for me. I know that for damn sure. Right now, which way has this got to go round? Because I've got the cog on this side, and does it go? Hold up. I think it goes. Yes, it does go that side. So basically, putting it alongside here, this bit. Mind you, it's got a lip on that. No, does that go? No, it goes the other side. Sorry, the lip's got to go on the outside. So the flush goes on the in. So it's giving it like a border. I see what it's doing. And that's why it's done it. So yeah, that's done correctly. Because if I look, I'll take these off. Oh, God. To make sure these snap in. It does. Right? And that's why you had one hanging over. Because then it hangs lovely. And you've got a nice sharp corner on that front. So it looks now it's creating a border point. Because as it is, it looks like you've got two spare lives and a cherry that you've gone around the board and collected some. So it's supposed to give off the illusion. So it looks like we're going to have to do that again on this side. I assume. I won't know. Because it doesn't say number 2. Well, it will do when I get page 3. Yep, and it does. No, it's actually slightly a little bit different. Right, okay, well that's interesting. So let's grab that and do that again. Yeah, I'd love to see Andy get his hands on one of these and just give it a go. It would be comical. Now again, look at the book. This is what I'm saying about the book, right? Now on the book, it doesn't tell you what parts to actually do. So what you've got to basically do on the book is go back to the previous page and do all that again. But on the book, it doesn't say ×2. Now if that said ×2, you know you won't be wasting your time sitting there, scratching your head for 5 minutes and thinking, no, hang on a minute, what's that on about? Now, it just says, make sure these bits sit in. Well, you've done that. But now it's telling you to do the other side, because look, you're matching it. But on this page, it doesn't tell you what to do. It just says, just do 1. It won't say do 2. So I mean, with magazines, and this is what does your head in. This is a prime example. So I'm going to have to copy exactly what I've just done again, basically. So I'm going to have to wing it on that front. So I need the 3 short ones. if there is, no, too short. There's one there. I see Charles Mott was on the other night. He was doing, what was he doing? No, we need 3 of them, don't we? We do need 3. He was doing a Christmas tree, I think. I did see him do it at the end of it. Pete, and then, who else ain't been doing the streaming? I see J-Fix was on. Everyone jumped on his stream, J-Fix, because I started on this, because I really wanted to crack on with the Lego, because this is a massive operation. You know, I knew this weren't gonna get done in one bloody part. I just knew it weren't. And you know, I thought if I don't crack on with this, it's gonna stop me from doing my other bits as well. And I want to get this done because I want to get this built, cleaned up, put it on display with my retro stuff. That's why I bought it. But yeah, J-Fix was doing other bits and pieces, and then Charles Mott jumps on. And then there was another stream. Bloody hell, it was about 3 streams. I was streaming. So in total, I think it was about 5 at the end of it. So I thought, no, because not many people love Lego. I love Lego. I do. It's like you said, I love the challenge. And it is. It's all about that. You know you're going to make mistakes. I'm trying to follow the book. And I'll tell you, even following the book is challenging. And he looks like Simon Pegg. And I'm going to, what's that? And I'm getting the looks from yourself as Steve Coogan. Yeah, I'd like his money. That is true. You know, yes, I like Steve Coogan. He's a great comedian. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. Some people say, "Cool, you got lookalikes." You know, well, thanks. You know, at least I look like someone and not like no one. Yeah, you and me both. So yeah, I you know, I'd rather, you know, it's nice to actually take. I wish it was Tom Cruise, but you know, beggars can't be choosers, and I ain't fussed. So you know, could be worse. You could be like, you know, someone that you feel like God blimey, yeah, he's you know. It's like one of my mates. He looks like, who did he look like? And he used to hate being called it. It was before he died. He used to, one of my mates who was good at electrics and radiograms, he used to look like Knight Rider, David Hasselhoff. And they used to say, bloody hell, you know, and he hated it. He went fucking mad. He went, no, I don't. Fucking don't keep saying I don't look like David. I don't look nothing like him. I went, you do. He cracked me up because he hated it, and he didn't like it, and I went, no, exactly. And he did make me laugh on that front because it used to just whine. You know, some people used to say that, well, sweet, well, you should be privileged at the end of the day, you know. So don't worry about it. I mean, you know, it's good that you look like someone. So yeah, take it. I mean, some people can take a joke, some can't take a joke. I don't give a flying Rex monkeys, me. As long as I have a laugh, that's all that matters. If you can't laugh at yourself, then you're one miserable bleeding sod, and you shouldn't be streaming at the end of it. So no, that's it. To take a joke and all that, but yeah, it don't bother me. It's the way my background is. I just have a very sick mind. Yeah, it's. I can't see that. Sorry, bud. I'm going to put my glasses on. My carrots are terrible. It's all in love and joy for Chill and me, pal. Yes, exactly. You know, like you said, it's all about the joys at the end of it. You know, we're only here once. Make the bloody most of it. So I'm trying to look. So we got count of 11. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. God, Jesus. 9, 10. I'll tell you what, they've altered the colour of this, you know. They have. That's 11. Lego never had jet black bricks like that. And when I say these are jet black, these are really black and glossy. Really deep black. They never. I don't think they had black bricks. I can't remember because I didn't save my Lego set back in the days. So I couldn't. I mean, if I'd have kept it, I would have known, and then compared the 1980s to a 2025 version, because I know for a fact the colours, these colours seem much more vibrant, and I know off the scale the 1980s ones were bleached. They was more, the reds looked like oranges at the end of the day. The oranges looked like pale. They looked like, you know, they was anemic at the end of it, but they never had black. I don't recall black. It looked, you know, they had greys. The greys looked washed out, like all the colours. But this, they've gone really deep with colour, you know, especially this black. And it makes it really difficult to see when you're trying to look for the small pieces, because you're spreading it out, and you do need to spread it out, because otherwise, I've looked a dozen times thinking, well, where the bloody hell is it? And it was buried, because it was buried in another black one. And when you're putting that dark black against the black, you can't see it. It makes it really difficult. And that's exactly what's happened. So, I need 2 of the grey 6s. Yes, okie dokie. I think we're just going to leave it there, and I can bring in the other pieces. Now it says you need 2 of the 3s. Oh, God. Yeah, 2 of the 3s. Here we go. Got them. 2 of the 3s. Well, it says you need 1, but I think I'll leave the 2 there, and we'll take that. So again, same thing. But yeah, I would definitely love to see, you know, as long as you look like someone, just take it. It's only a bloody joke. I mean, crying out loud, some people can't take jokes anymore. I mean, you know, we live in a society where you can't even express you know, you can't say anything just in case Facebook's listening. The police are banging at your door saying, right, you posted this tweet, and now you've upset someone's feelings. What a load of bleeding, I won't swear, but it's what a load of cobblers. I've never known anything like it. You know, now you can't even have a laugh and joke anymore. The world's gone, it's gone crazy. And it's sad, it's rather sad. You know, because now you can upset someone's feelings. You know, and this is what I don't get. I just don't get it with people. You know, a joke is a joke. It's, you know, what's a few words? Because you've up, you know, the things on it. It's just words. It's not as if you threw a punch and knocked someone's tooth out at the end of the day. That's a physical assault. But what's words? You know, what's the old saying? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words are never... You know, the old sayings is true. But again, this is a prime example of what you're up against, where people can't take even the slightest little joke. So, well, I'm not hurting. I'm only saying it. You know, it's a small joke at the end of it. But they're words. Words don't mean nothing. Or better still, keep your mouth shut. Don't say nothing at all. Yeah, we live in a world where everyone wants to take offence to instead of the word that we've been brought up. And it was sticks and stones may break our bones, but names will never hurt me. That's it. That's the one. But that is true. You know, it's just words. But for crying out loud, you know, because you call someone a C-U-N-T at the end of the day, it's just, that don't mean nothing. You know, it's in a manner how you say it, innit? If I said it is, you silly sausage, or you silly, or you drop something, oh, for crying out loud. You know, and say, oh no, you shouldn't say things like that at the end of it. Why? That's the way I've been brought up. At the end, it's in a manner. It's all about the manner at the end of it. So, but again, they're just words. They don't, if you can't take a word, then go and lock yourself in a bloody monastery or something and never come out. So, no, I mean, that's my motto. Literally, just, you know, I don't get it. I really don't get it. But now we can't, because now you've got all of these people saying, oh no, you've really upset me now by what you're saying. What do you mean? You know, but that's the way we live in. It's absolutely ludicrous. I don't get it. Some of these people, they really are crying out loud. Right, so we want 3 on one side. So let's, before I put this back together, because I've got to get this the right way, ain't I? Is it? Hold on. I think it's this way. Yeah, it is. So I've got to do this way again. Right, okay. Because again, you've got to have a lip going over. Oh, Jesus. Trying to get these on, mate. Tell you. We get there now. We get there. And then what we do, we put a 4. That brings 1 over. So, yeah, we didn't need them two. Cool. Yeah, I've had people take offence because I've called them mate. I'll be crying out loud. Seriously? I would say I'll go back in the corner and go, you know, call mate. You know, I'll call everyone buddy. You know, what's that? It's just old fashioned. When you're old school, at the end of the day, you know, if you can't talk to someone, I come from ex-East London, so it's the way I've been brought up. Like most Londoners are. You know, all right, mate, how you doing? You know, it's just, again, manner. And then people say, I'm not your mate. Like the Indians. I've worked, when I used to do pest control, I used to actually say, I worked with the Jewish community, lovely people. Do you know what? I'd love to actually work in the Jewish community. They are one of the most kindest persons I have ever come across. They're more, you know, these people actually get hammered on these, you know, because when I used to work down Golders Green, you know, in the Jewish community when I was doing pest control there, they were a bit like the Hamish, you know, again, very self-independent people, but they're very kind at the end of the day. They go out their way to make you feel like royalty. You know, and no other people do that today. They wouldn't. But that's their nature. It's the way they've been brought up. They don't want to cause havoc. They shy away from everyone. Is because they don't want to draw attention at the end of it. And at Speaker's Corner, up near, not far from Hyde Park, you know, where people express their visions, some Jews were actually just walking past, just minding their own business, and people were shouting out racist remarks. Now that I can't stand. Because you're making fun out of someone's religion, and you're actually poking, actually saying that he was minding his own business, he wasn't provoking anyone, and they were shouting out about the Jewish scum and all that, and some people just walked past and give him such a look, and I went, you're absolutely disgusting. You know, these people, what is wrong with them? You know, and I actually had to go over and apologise. I said, I'm so sorry you had to hear that at the end of the day. He said, we're used to it. He said, we just ignore it. I went, do you know what? It's the best thing. He said, there's not many more people decent in the world that actually, you know, take kindness to their brothers and sisters. I went, no, it's not. I said, it doesn't work like that today. The society, I said, now, I said, is absolutely disgraceful at the end of it. The police never done nothing. I said, why don't you report it to the police? He said, no, we don't do things like that. We just learn to ignore him. And it's so sad, but that's, I mean, to actually, in a manner, but there's no need to talk to someone that weren't even being provoked to actually be called that, no. Racism, age, you and me are not born with the talk that are divided. This is Hennessy, and it's used to keep us separated. Exactly. I mean, you know, it does. This is a prime example of what it does, and it is to say it's really shameful. You know, because now even making like you're laughing and joking at someone, as long as you're not making, you know, like you said, as long as you're not making you know, making fun at someone. Because just in case that they are going to take it the wrong way, but you can't even say the basic words without saying, "Oh, I took offence to that." At the end, oh, but crying out loud, seriously? I mean, you know, racism is making you. If you're making deliberate sort of inappropriate marks against that one person, it's not even being provoked. All he done was just walk past, totally ignored him, and I was up there. Up in Speaker's Corner, and I was doing a job. I was working, and it was just unbelievable. I could not believe it. But no, I don't get it. I really don't. But hey, anyway, we've got this border sorted out. We've put the border in there, and that looks really nicely now, and it looks like it's finishing this off. So this looks like it's going to be Right, let's put that part in before we do anything. Right, let's crack on to the next bit. Oh God, eyes. Right, so we need the small pieces. It is, I've got to admit, shame. I wish people weren't like it today, but nah, you just end up just being isolating yourself, and you're frightened to talk to anyone, just in case you're going to land yourself into trouble. And Facebook, this is why I don't do Facebook. Facebook is the worst one by far now. They have their own police, they've got their own police services on Facebook, which is ridiculous. It's at most ridiculous. And they're being monitoring everything that you say or do. It will get taken down in content. Next minute, if you're making a bigotry remark against someone that you don't even know, right? Alright, I grant you shouldn't be saying that, which is totally agreeable. Next minute, you've got the police banging at your door and you think, how the bloody hell have they got my address? Well, they've got your IP address. As soon as you connect onto the internet, they've got your IP address. And if you think that you're going to have something like, oh, I've got a private VPN, right? I always have private VPNs. But private VPNs don't mean nothing. They can still, they use an encryption service. I mean, I've got two lots of encryption when I go on the internet, because everything's being searched, everything's being watched at the end of it. When I do my streams, like when I'm streaming at the moment, I'm using a different computer, so I'm not bothered. There's nothing on it. It's purely for streaming purposes only at the end of the day. And I only stream on one platform, which is YouTube, which I was going to stream on, I was going to do Ustream, because Ustream, but you've got to pay for the membership on that. It's £6 a month at the end of it. And that's another, that used to be free. Ustream used to be really good. I remember when it first got launched, that was the new YouTube. But unfortunately, they upgraded. They've done all their servers. They put all brand new servers in. They had to pay for the new servers because servers are really expensive. So the only way they can do that is bring in a paid subscription service. And I know, because when I went to go and see Jim Davison live, down the old Kentish town, I was talking to Jim Davison, and Jim Davison said, I know the co-founder of Ustream, and he said they had to put in a paid subscription service to pay for these new servers. He said they're very expensive, and he made me laugh. The jokes he was coming out were making me cry. But not everyone likes Jim Davison, but I think he's cool at the end of it. But yeah, but that's how it works. It literally did work on that front. But yeah, I would say, not everyone can afford to keep paying £6 a month. So it's bad enough trying to pay for a subscription service for your, your private VPNs, because they can range anywhere between £6 and anywhere up to £10 a month on that front. I don't. I'll get mine for free. Is because I'm part of a syndicate where the syndicate where I work for, the company organisations with the charities, we have to use private VPNs because of our data protection at the end of the day. So my PC, when I talk to the work colleagues, when I need to send them emails, it goes through a private VPN. So I don't have to worry about private VPNs. It's not an issue for me at the end of the day. So if they try to search up, my address might come up that it looks like I'm in India or Afghanistan. It won't be in the UK, because it sees it that it's abroad. It sees, that's all it shows. It scrambles something to do with your it scrambles something to do with your networking, and I think that's what it does. I love Jim. Yeah, Jim Davison's fantastic. He's hilarious, absolutely. Meeting him live had me in tears. At that front, but yeah, if he's down at my end, near, not too far from me, I'll normally book a pair of tickets and just go and, I take me and my mate just go along, and we just, we wing it, and I've got his, in one of it, I've actually got his signature. It's slung in a drawer with all the other bits. I've got a picture of Jim Davison, and he signed it with his autograph with Jim Davison, because that was the night I went down. And when was that? Oh, that was a few years back, before I went to Germany. I think that was back about 2021. Yeah, I think it was about 2021, and since I last see Jim. But yeah, funny guy. He actually had me in stitches. It did make me laugh. So I need to put this piece back on that. We got one of them little pieces, and we need to make that flush. So we've got like a little raised bit. Now, looking, I don't know what we're making, but it looks like a pillar with glass. And I did see a piece of plastic, clear perspex. Now, oh yeah, here it is. So we got a clear piece of perspex. So it looks like we're making a pillar. So I better put that to one side actually, because I know I'm going to bloody lose it. So it looks like that's what we're making, a raised pillar. So we need another. I'll tell you what. The only you talked about slabs. The only other slab that I did manage to see when I was in Tottenham Court Road, going into a retro game store, he was walking. He just walked past me, and I went, "Hang on!" I had to look back, and he did manage to look back because he looked like he was looking for a cab, and I managed to see him, and it was Mel Smith before he died. Couldn't believe it. Long black Mac. He didn't have no hair at the time. He was just bald at the end of it. But long black Mac, you know, like one of those dark sort of Matrix Macs, sort of super long. And yeah, he just walked straight past me, didn't even say anything. I didn't even know who it was, to be honest. I didn't take much notice, but I couldn't believe it with him on that front. But yeah, right. Let me just double look. Oh, for crying out loud! Now this book again. This book's confused me because that we've got that on there, haven't we? So we've got that on that piece. So now it's saying. So it's got to sit third, right? Okay. Now see again, this bloody book. It's really, really confusing. So it looks like you've got to have 3. So yeah, so and you've got to put that on there. So it looks like, which don't do it any justice because you can't see it. You really can't see it. So when you're putting these on, right, you have to make one platform up first, right, and then when you look really closely, then you've got to put another one. So you've got to look at that picture really carefully because it looks like there's 2, but in fact there's 3. And I had to count. I went 1, 2. So it was 3 layers because it's so squashed on the picture. It looks like 2, and this is what's throwing me off on these pictures. It looks like 2, in fact, and this is what buggered me with the pillars up, because again, it really confused me. So there's actually 3 layers, 2 layers on that one, 3 layers on that, which that is right. But fucking hell, I mean, you know, seriously. Right, so we need one of them, and again, I've got to get the correct orientation. This black on black thing. Jeez, it's really difficult to. I mean, I can have a 4K camera and it will still come up, and you're thinking, I can't even see that. It's this dark. Seriously, it's this dark. And I've got both lights switched on, both lights. At the end of the day, I can't look at it because it hurts my eyes. And my carrots ain't bad. It's terrible at the moment. So it looks like I've got to put this 4 section, and it looks like it's got to go towards that way. So it's facing, if you look at the camera, so it looks like it's got to face towards it. So you know, that's the route it's got to take. And then we need to take a square black thin one, put that on top, right? So it looks like it's building a pillar. Cool. Okay. And then we need a smooth black one with 2 raised tiles. Cool, right? But again, facing, which way has it got to be facing? Right, interesting. So the black is, so these 2 are facing up, and then you've got like a lip and a flush side on there. So give or take. 40 Towers. Now that's one series I love the most. Absolutely love it. Blackadder. Sorry at random questions, it's alright. Why do you have to apologise? Don't. Just come out of it. Tell it. I'm old school. As I said, nothing goes through me, mate. Nothing. People can call me all the names under the sun, and I just sit there and laugh at them. Because at the end of the day, it's a bit like a bully. If a bully's bullying you, right, and they call you all the names under the sun, I'll just switch off. Absolutely, I'll sit there and laugh at them. Because if you laugh at someone, you're showing that you're not taking the bigotry remarks at the end of the day. Obviously, it's like you said, sticks and stones don't mean nothing. But if someone threw a punch, I ain't going to stand around and find out they're going to throw the first punch. So, names don't mean nothing. So, yeah, don't just come out of it, say it. But, great series. I love the 40 Towers. Any of the random of the 40, of the range of that is absolutely hilarious. Watched all of the... What did they do? They done season 1, and it had every single... I think Kippers and the Corpse cracked me up. The Germans... I love the Germans with Mrs. Richards. She absolutely... that one had me in stitches. She recently died, didn't she? The one there, Mrs. 40. Shame, really. I mean, it's like the Monty Pythons. Life of Brian. Absolutely has me in stitches. It's some great films. There really is. And they absolutely... You're sitting there and I could watch them 1,000 times and it never gets old. Never on that front. But yeah, you're all right. But Blackadder, again, Bean, I think he's all that type of character. That's what I said. Rowan Atkinson he's a magical bloke. He really is. He can just take, even just the look, that you can't take him seriously at the end of the day. I'm just getting you. I can't see that. My bloody this little TV's fucking terrible. I have to keep up my glasses on. Huge interest and humour. Yeah, basically, that's what it boils down to. It's like I said. Andy just talks up random things, but he gets stressed out a lot. I know Andy says he don't get stressed. He does get stressed. And I see Andy get stressed. He loses it sometimes, and it absolutely makes me laugh. And when you're trying to address for a big audience, especially on streaming, at the end of it, and yeah, you're right. It can be quite daunting at the end of it. I mean, I'm all new to the game, but I'm old school at the same time, so nothing really. But it don't really make. If I had griefers come in and give me all the grief, it wouldn't bother me. I'd just take no notice. They just bugger off. They're going to grief someone else because you're not going to take no notice of them. Griefers are like bullies. All they want is attention. Just ignore them and they go away at the end of it. But yeah, but I just like when everyone has a good time. And when you see someone else being stressed out and you're thinking, oh, hang on a minute, it's right. The episode that always cracked me up was Andy when he was doing when he was streamed in his first shed, right? That he put one of these memes on, and the black man was crying, right? And what was it? I think it was the projector, right? And that's what it always haunts me. And it absolutely has me in stitches. I fell on the floor through laughter. It was talk about timing. I don't know if it was Worms or one of the others, but they pressed the meme when he dropped the part and it went behind the desk. That had me in tears. It was impeccable timing because all I heard, oh, for sake, he said, I don't, and then the crying come on right at the last minute. I tell you, I had to keep playing it back. I just thought, do you know what? He says he don't get stressed out. Yeah, he does. If it don't go his way, it's just hilarious just to sit back and see someone else struggle. You're thinking, oh my God. Yeah, that was one part. That's what got me into watching the streams at the end of it. There's always going to be a cock up, but laugh, go against it. I mean, like you said, just have a laugh and joke. Don't take it seriously. I do. That's me. I'm Mr. Fun. I'd rather laugh and joke all bloody day long. It don't bother me. It's but yeah, you're only as good as it makes it as you can get out of. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that did make me laugh. I've got to admit, that made me cry so much it made hurt the back of my head through laughter at the end of it. So, but yeah, that stream. That's when I started watching Andy's stream. But it was just impeccable timing. How he just managed went to go and put the bits away, and then as it went to put it all in the box, and some of the bits rolled out the back. That's when he went off his head. And then the crying started, and then that made me cry even, laughter even more. And I went, oh my God, that is the funniest thing I've ever sat and watched in my entire life. And it was absolutely, and I don't think Andy was impressed, but he was just pissed off, literally peed off on that fun. But funny, it literally, this is why I think streams, when you're streaming live, it could be, it's a bit like All Right on the Night, when the 1980s one, or Beatles About. You know something's going to happen. It's just a matter of time, It ain't going to go swimmingly 24/7. Something's going to happen. I've watched, well, put it this way. I watched one stream, and it was in America, and then the next minute, it was live. I kid you not. What was he streaming? It was on Twitch. He was streaming a game, right? And the next minute, his girlfriend come in, right? Because he was playing his game, and she kept calling him, and he ignored her. She'd done no more, and this was live on stream. He was streaming it, and I never forget it. It got took off after that, right? She come in with a baseball bat. She not only hit him with the baseball bat, smashed his TV up and his console, but the camera was alright. It filmed it while it went on. She went mad, absolutely ballistic, because he ignored her. At the end of the day, that's why I stay single of it. No, it's alright. I don't think you need someone like that. She went, that's it, I've had enough of you, you don't take no notice of me. And the next minute she swung at him. I don't know what the hell happened, but she managed to knock him out, partly hurt him, took his console out. I don't know what he had, must have had a PlayStation 4 or PS5, because it was a PlayStation, and smashed his TV up. So, yeah, it didn't go down too well, and that was all live on stream. Funny as hell. So, yeah, watching live streams can be really comical. It just depends who's on and what's going to happen. Some streams can be really boring, but I don't know. It depends what you want to put in a stream, because remember, I don't own a TV license, so this is my own entertainment on this front. So, but yeah, I'll never forget that stream. That was back 2 years ago. And that was on Twitch. So when you're watching something, don't just go on YouTube. Have a look on Twitch, because there's all types of going ons with Twitch and that. So yeah, that did make me laugh. I don't know what happened to the situation on that, because he never streamed back in after that. After she smashed his console up and put a baseball over his head. So yeah, that probably didn't go down too well. So anyway, put this on. It looks like we've got to do a window. Oh, great. So we got... Is this... Ah, can I call you mister? Can I call you mister? What are you gay? Yeah. So, yeah, what we need to do... I love that. What are you gay? It looks like we have to put the little window in. Clip it in. Right. It's got fucking fingerprint marks all over it. Let me give it a wipe. That did make me laugh. I love that meme with that interview. Have you ever watched that interview? It's hilarious at the end of it. It's one of the funniest. It's one of the funniest sort of interviews I've ever watched with a South African interview. Again, makes me laugh. The pastor comes in, which is like the who's the ones with the collar, like the vicar. He comes in. They're called pastors over in Africa, and he comes in. He starts preaching to this bloke who thinks he's a woman. And if you go on YouTube, the whole stream is on there. It goes on for about an hour, but my God, from start to finish, I was crying, absolutely crying. And that's why you might see memes saying, "Why are you gay?" Because it's all about that sort of gender, because the Africans are not really into cross-gender. They're not really into all that. But that is the one funny thing I've ever sat and watched in my entire life. It made me cry of laughter. It was a bit like the Andy moment at the end of it. But Google it. If you go on YouTube, it'll be on there. The old full episode is on there. Oh, that fun. So, did he say you got to peel it off? Oh. He says you've got to peel it off. Oh, I'll leave it on for the time being. What has it got to go, front or back? Hold up a minute, I'm now confused. No, it's got to go at the front. No, hold up a minute, it's got to go at the side. Has it got to go at the side? Or does it go at the back? No, it goes at the... Hold up a minute. No, I'm really baffled by this now. I've got a piece up here. Hold up a minute. No, that's that brick, innit? So it's got to have it that side. Right, hold up. No, something's wrong. Something's not right. No surprise there. It's like everything, 90% of the things is wrong at the end of the day. Right, I think I put this on the wrong way round. So I've got to put that there. And this window's got to go sideways. Is that right? Yeah, so it's got to go that way. Let me have a look at your message. So, yeah, I think I've got it. I'll put that round the wrong way. I've got it round the right way now. Message retracted. Yeah. So, yeah. If you YouTube it, you'll sit there and you'll pee yourself laughing. It's really one of the funniest interviews I've ever seen of that. Why are you gay? If you just type in, why are you gay? And straight away your search, the meme will come up. But look for the full episode. It's on YouTube. I know it's on there because I see it and I watched it and it makes me cry every time I watch it at the end of it. So we got this wrong, right? I actually done this wrong, so which I've just rectified. It was that top brick. So this has got to be facing towards the facial side. And then the bottom parts of these are facing towards you. And that brick, I had it facing that way. It's got to be facing at the back. So it looks like it's then flush at the back with the indent. So it looks like a window. So that's what he's saying. Right, cool. Okay. Yeah, that is correct. I have got that correctly. So I have done that right. So hopefully. But yeah, that's a meme that someone created a meme for that. And that's really funny, that meme. That absolutely it makes me laugh every time I hear it. But the interview is even more hilarious. It's just something about the South Africans absolutely cracked me up. Again, working with some of the community are really funny people, you know. Except their driving is terrible. They can't drive for toffee. So, hold up. Here we go. One black piece. Oh God, what have I done? Well, we need one of the. One of these pieces. I need one of these pieces and a square piece. Two. Do you want two? We got two. Here we go. We got two. Oh, and we need one of the two piece. Just one of the twos. Right, cool. Now it looks like again we're doing the same thing. The pillar build up. So. What do we start off with? The round piece, cool. Square piece on top, cool. Then we need the dial going on the, is that on the side? It is, on the side. Okay. Then that block goes onto that, cool. Then that, and then that on top. So we want to create this side facing next brick, and it looks like that sits then on top, and that now does, that now copies. So all you've done was virtually copied it. So what we look like we've got, you should have a cutout, basically. And you've got like, if you look closely, you've got like a little lip, but this is identical. These have to be identical. These have to be identical, except for that piece there at that front. But all the others should be flush. So there's obviously, that's got to clip into something. I think they've done that deliberately. So that pillar's done. Cool, cool, cool. And, oh, we ain't finished yet. No, far from it. I don't know where this piece is going. I ain't got a clue. Oh, yeah, well, that looks like a motor. Looks like this part of this piece. I haven't got a clue what this is. This ain't the joystick. I think the joystick's last. So, hold up. I'm really confused here. Right, okay. So why is it showing me... I'm really baffled. I'm more confused now than ever. Because again, look, let me show you. This is what I'm saying, right? Look, I was up to here. I'm following it. This is what I'm saying about this bloody book. It's a fucking joke, right? I've done this pillar, which I've done, right? Got the pillar there. I've done the pillar. So it's not saying anything else, is it? Now watch this. Turn it over on the page. Now it's just showing you a picture. Where's that come from? Is that one long piece? Because it's not telling you what to plug it onto. And it ain't even showing what piece to use next. Unbelievable. So I'm going to have to wing it. I think it's going to be one of these long pieces. So it looks like you need... Again, it don't tell you. So it looks like you're going to have to use one of these slope pieces. And it goes on the end. And you should have 3. Yeah, it is. Unbelievable. So they couldn't even be bothered to put in the book to tell you you need these 2 pieces. They'd rather just say, look at the picture. You'd be fine. See, this is what I'm saying about the challenge. You know, this is a typical challenge that you're going to get at the end of it. Unbelievable on the challenge side. So what I need to do, that's got to go. I'll tell you what, you want to see a great film, crack me up, a 1980s one, classic, at the end of the day. And I've watched it a dozen times, and it makes me laugh. It's so 1980s. It's all set up in Manchester. It's Rita, Sue and Bob 2. Fuck it, absolutely. I'll tell you what, I don't know how they got away with it. I really don't. It's about these 2 young girls. They just turned 18. And I ain't going to say no more because I don't want to get the channel demonetised. But watch it. It's a classic film. It makes me laugh every time. There's racism in that. People say things, you know, obviously her father's a drunk. Classic. It is a great film though. It did make me laugh. Jesus. I just watched that, about that. I was 18. It is literally one of them films that makes me laugh every time I watch it. Rita, Sue and Bob 2. I think it's one of the best films I ever sat there and watched. It makes me laugh every time I watch it. So, yes. Her father's a drunk. He comes in. I even know half the lines. I've watched it that many times. I can read it. I don't need the script. I think half of it's in my head. So, it looks like we're going to need a 5-1 flat one of these. On that front, plug it in. So it looks like, again, because look, again, it don't tell you in the book. It's telling you, it tells you 1, but it's just, that's it. But that top piece didn't even tell you what pieces you need to make that slope. But you just have to wing it. So you just have to look at the picture and think, yeah, well, you might as well be in Greek. But you've got to sit it where it's set back. Because again, obviously this sits on something. And that's obviously part of a slope. But I don't know why they've done it like that. But it's obviously for a reason. But anyway, I've done it. That piece is on there. So, yeah, that does make me laugh, reading Sue and Bob too. There is some classic great 80s films I can go from all day long. But some of them are not. Some of them more than 18 rated at the end of the day. But they are classic 1980s films. But yeah, you which I can't say on here. I don't want to get the channel took down for. Yeah, that's saying that from the film. But it is a classic, great film though. I've got to admit, and you're not really until you watch some of these old gen films. You sit there and you think, how the bloody like Blazing Saddles, right? Classic example. Gene Wilder, right? I don't know how he got away with the way of the things. It's like Young Frankenstein, classic 8. That's a classic, right? Classic sort of like film, black and white film with Gene Wilder, and who's the one with the wonky eye? Oh bloody hell, I forgot his name. Again, really great films, but the Blazing Saddles, I don't know how they managed to get that in production. That is one film they stepped way over the mark, but it ended up being a classic at the end of the day. But Jesus, seriously, I mean, you know, some people, they can take it way above that level, and they obviously think, yeah, that's all right. You know, now you couldn't show anything like that. You just couldn't. It's yeah, not ideal. Kelvin's little. Oh yes, basically yeah. This is what I'm saying about with the you know classic film industry at the end of it. So I'm thinking, you know, it's there's some. Oh, I've just pulled that bloody bit off. For crying out loud. Oh, that's all right. I'll put it back on. No worries. It only sits on there. Right. So yeah, yeah, getting back on the film industry, yeah, it did make me laugh. But you can't say after things what they said now in some of the films. I mean, it's like my biggest all-time film star that I love. There's quite a few I love the most, but one name comes up at the top of the list out of all the others, and it's got to be Clint Eastwood. And I've got his box set, and I kid you not, I've got his entire box set, and it's got his autograph. It was at a signing, right? I was up in London. Where was I? I was at the again. It was a computer event. They was doing retro computers. I didn't know Clint Eastwood was there. Right? He made a personal appearance, and I managed to buy. Actually, my friend used to work in Virgin Megastore before they closed down, and he got me a Clint Eastwood box set, and it had his. It was his entire collection on DVD, not Blu-ray. It was DVD because they didn't have Blu-rays then. There was a fight between Blu-ray and DVD, and DVD obviously Blu-rays run. And basically, yeah, when I bought the box set, I paid £49 for the box set, 50 quid, because it got it really cheap. And yeah, I didn't know when we went to the computer of this event, Clint Eastwood was there, and I had the box set in my bag, and I said. I actually went up, and he's got a really strong accent, Clint Eastwood, and he's really lovely folk. He really is a nice person. At the end of the day, he was laughing and joking, and it really everyone round him. He had a massive table, and I managed to get up front. And I said, you're one of my all-time favourite, iconic sort of people that I've always looked up to. I said, I love your films. He said, thanks, buddy. He said, it really means something. I said. I know it says, you've probably asked this 1,000 times. I said, but I've just bought your box set on DVD. And he went, seriously? He went, show me. And I took it out of the bag, still had the wrapper. He took the wrapper off, right? And he took the pen out. I didn't even ask him. And he went, to my bestest friend, and thanks for buying the DVD box set, signed Clint Eastwood. And I got it in the bedroom. Hey, I was actually, that made my day to actually, not only did I have the box set, but I got it signed by him as well. So I'm really over the moon on that front, and I think that's one of the best purchases I've ever done. But I totally didn't expect him to be there, because it was at the Ideal Home exhibition. Because the Ideal Home exhibition, they use it for multiple things. They have they do have big events up there, and this was a massive computer event that was up there. They had all the computers, retro ones, all the lates. But this was, remember, I got this way back down in the early 2000s, so it was about 2001 when this was on. So I was at that point, but yeah, I loved it. I actually got the White Buffalo or Fistful of Dollars, or being a Western, I'm going to say Fistful of Dollars on that front. But White Buffalo is good enough. I like all these films. The one that really comes to mind, there's two that I really like. Obviously, you've got Any Which Way You Can, Any Which Way But Loose. I loved Clyde in that. It absolutely cracks me up. And the ones that I liked the most was Firefox, which was, they did do an arcade game based on that film, and also there's actually a couple more, because there's the Enforcer, Dirty Harry. At the end of it, I could just go on all day long, but again, classic, absolutely classic. I could not believe I didn't even ask him to sign it. Right Turn, Clive. Yeah, when he punches him, knocks all them bikers out. Absolutely brilliant. But yeah, I've actually got his signature. I'm really honoured by that. I would never sell that box set. That box set means the world to me. I was just lucky to get the box set, because the box set, no one, they didn't have it. No one else. They was all selling out of the Clint Eastwood. But I didn't even know he was there. All I see was a big crowd of people. And you know what happens when you see a massive crowd? Curiosity always gets the best. My mate, he just pissed off. He just walked off, and he was going looking at other computers. But to me, I wanted to investigate, and I couldn't, because obviously he had such a huge crowd. I couldn't even get to see who it was, and I thought, what's going on over there? Have they got something special? And obviously, there's so much noise in the Ideal Home exhibition. There's so much racket going on. You've got computers going off, the sounds. It was really cool. It really was one of the best days. We stayed there. I got there at 10. We didn't leave till about 7 o'clock. I was there all day. I was absolutely shattered. But when I've got the box set, because I was carrying the box set with me, I went over and I still couldn't get to see who it was, because there must have been like 20 people all bunched, and I'm trying to. Two of them walked out, and as soon as they walked out, I walked straight in. As soon as I walked in, and I went, yeah, that looks like Clint Eastwood. And I managed to press up the front, and it was Clint. It made my day. Everyone was asking him questions, and he had obviously his advisor there, and they said, please, one question at a time. And then when it went quiet, I actually raised my finger, and they said, yeah, you? And I said, Mr. Eastwood, I said, thank you for this moment. I said, it's really nice to see you in person. I always remember it. I said, I've just bought your box set of your DVDs. And I didn't say no more. And he said, show me. And I took the bag out while the other people were watching, and it was all cellophane. It's brand new, this box set. It must have been 50 discs. And he didn't say no more, and I didn't even know what he was going to do. He unwrapped it. He didn't ask me if I wanted it unwrapped. I thought, what if that was a Christmas present? But I went, no, don't shut up. Don't say nothing. He unwrapped it, got his felt tip marker, and wrote on there, to my beloved friend, thanks for buying, signed Clint Eastwood. I went, thank you, you've made my day. And he went, and he said, I love fans like you. He said, thank you so much. He said, that means the world to me. And he wrote it right across the box. And I went, that's it. That's going on my Pride and Joy with all my other DVDs at the end of it. So, yeah, that one, I think just his signature alone, that will bump the price of that DVD box set up, because it's got 50 discs in it. And it shows you right through the range of all these DVDs. I know everyone don't watch DVDs now because you pick them up cheap, but that one's special. It's got his signature. And I went, no, that one's Pride of Joy, and I'm going to make sure I keep that one. Because I love Clint anyway. I think he's a great thing. But I was trying to think of, there was one with Clint Eastwood and Jeff Bridges, because I love Jeff. Again, Jeff Bridges is a great actor. And I can't think of the, I'm trying to think of the actual thing where they do a robbery with Jeff Bridges. It was actually quite a really good film. But again, mid-90s, that Mr. Clint done that. So yeah, I forgot. I can't get to the box sets because his bedroom's loaded up there at the minute with all my stuff. But yeah, I think that really made my day. I'll never forget that moment. so glad I went. You know, I mean, mate, when I was trying to look for my mate, when you've got a room for over 2,000 to 3,000 people, it's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. So there's a meeting point in the Ideal Home exhibition, and it says meet here. And I said to him, if we ever break up, meet there. Don't move. Wait there. And there was a lot of people waiting, obviously with their friends, obviously in the same boat. And as I've got Mr. Eastwood's box set, I was smiling, and he went, "What are you smiling about?" I went, "You're not going to believe this." And I went, "What?" I went, "I've met Clint Eastwood." He went, "Oh, shut up." He went, "Oh," I went, "No, seriously, he's over there in the booth, and you can't get to it." And he went, "Oh, I've got to go over there." He said, "Why didn't you tell me?" I went, "It was too late. You pissed off." I said, I only went over there just to investigate, to see what it was. I didn't even know he was here." So, yeah, it made my day. He was only there for about 5 hours, and he had to go, because he had to get back. Because he said he had a ranch or something, and there was a private aircraft waiting for him to take him back. But I was so over the moon. The trouble is, back in them days, we didn't have mobile phones. The early 2000s, the phones on there, the cameras, I had an old Nokia, and it didn't even have a camera on it at the end of the day, and it's a shame. But if I'd have had like the phones I had today, bloody hell, you would have took lovely photos. It would have been great. But all he gave me was just his signature. I was more than happy with his signature. That really pleased me in seeing him in person. But he looked like he was in his, I would say, Mr. Eastwood then, he looked like he was in his 50s. You know, now he's now nearly touching 100. So he's now done really well at the end of the day. But yeah, made my day. I mean, bloody hell, who else said to meet Clint Eastwood in person? Not many people. And I was just lucky because everyone else wanted to meet him and get his signature. And and what was the chances are that I bought the box set, and right that moment I got that signed by him. Right time, right place. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, my mate couldn't get in to see him. He went, he said, "I would really like to have met him." I went, "Well, and that's what happens when you walk off." I said, "I just wanted to investigate." He said, "We're wondering where you was." He said, "We was all looking round for you. We couldn't find you." I went, "Yeah, I know." He said, "But that is one of my biggest stars I always wanted to meet." So, yeah, that made my day. I was still trying to think of the bloody name of that film. That's really frustrating. It will come to me, bud. It will. I definitely know that. Because he's done so many films. Clint Eastwood. He's directed so many. Directed Band of Brothers with Tom Hanks. He was, like you said, a lot of the films. He's done a lot of new films since. So all them box sets that the film sets that I've got on DVD, they're all up to the classics. But there are none of the late films on there, because obviously that was way back in the 2000s. So he's done a lot more films since then, and he's directed a lot since. And again, his son. I've never seen his son, but his son doesn't look like him on that front. But yeah, I would definitely say there's not many people who are saying it's met a few celebrities, especially to get his autograph. To me, I thought, Christ, I must have been privileged. I think I was just lucky. I think that was just pure luck. There weren't no saying in that matter. I'm just saying that's pure luck, because I don't think I'd have ever got his signature put on a DVD box set, especially to buy, because I always wanted to buy the box set, and because my mate worked in Virgin, he got me a good discount, and I got it for about 50 quid, because I think it was in Virgin Mega Stores, it was retailing about 80 quid, 80, 90 quid, but with his discount, I got it for £49, and I went, I've got to have that. So that's why I met him up there, because he worked in London. And that's when he said, he finished about 1 o'clock, and then we went to a bite to eat, and I didn't even know this computer fair was on. And his mate said, "Did you know that computer fair's on?" So we just paid, I think it was about £10 to get in. And that was it. We stayed there to about 7. Fantastic. Fucking glad I did now, because I would have been really gutted. I'd have missed that moment, because I would have known nothing about it. So, but yeah, I would say, definitely saying, I'm just trying to, that's it. It's come to me. Thunderbolt and Lightfoot. That's another classic. That's the one I'm talking about with Jeff Bridges. Thunderbolt and Lightfoot. It was about a bank robbery. There was another bloke on there, and I forgot his name, but again, great villain. You know, he was actually. Where did I see that film? Again, it was a classic 80s one with Big Trouble Little China. He was working alongside with him. But again, he was part of the villain in Thunderbolt and Lightfoot and that front. But again, really great film. That was one of the ones I'd put right up top there with the Clint films on that front. That easy because like I said, Clint done quite a lot on that front. But I've always been a big Clint fan. I think, you know, not everyone likes Clint Eastwood. I love him. I think he's great. You know, at the end of it, he's a really lovely person to speak to. Talks really soft. He don't talk. You know, he's got a right strong, I would say, American accent at the end of the day. But it is really strong. It's like the Scottish at the end of it. If you ever spoke to a Scot person, they've got a really strong accent. Mr. Eastwood's very strong accent, but he's very soft in how he talks. You have to listen. You can't interrupt him when he's talking because you wouldn't hear what he's saying. But that's just the way he is. And I thought, wow. I was really surprised. So what I'm doing on this point, I'm making a. It looks like I'm making something up here, and I don't even know what this is. But did they give me the? Yeah, did they? Yeah, it looks like these. These look. This I think this looks like a capacitor. I think that's what it is. Because look, these are the scores, right? You've got the high scores because you can alter the scores on here, right? At the end of the day, these go for what's them. But what is this? I mean, it's got dying on it, but it's got 8400, and I didn't look at that, and it's got it on here. So it's got the 8400. So whatever this, I think this looks like this could be like a capacitor, like, and this is what this is building through the window because it looks like it has to go through. Which it does. It looks like it does. It definitely has to go through. Let me have a look, see what orientation this has to go through. Yes, it does go that way. Okay, but yeah, I mean, like you said, that's come off again for bloody Pete's sake. Where's the, so I mean with this, right? Okay. So, for some reason, that's not pushing all the way through. He said you've got to push it all the way through. Yeah, you've got to peel it off. Now, I've peeled that off. Bloody pulled that off now. I've got the phone out loud. Right, pull that off. So, it says on here, you've got to push that. You've got to put that through first. So it looks like you've got to thread all this through and then put that on after because it's a stopper, right? But as I'm pushing this through, that's not going all the way through. And it has got a hole in it, you can see it. So that's probably why it says, unless I've got that round the wrong way. No, you haven't. You have got that round the right way. The glass has to be facing. It looks like the glass has to be facing you, not away from you. It's just not, oh yeah, it's just not guided through. Here you go, done it. So basically, it wasn't, so this is a capacitor. So it looks like when you put the stickers on, right, obviously it looks like you've got the capacitance going through, because looking at that diode, on there it says 8400, so it says you can change 8400. Yeah, one side says 1024. This could be, no, you know what this could be? I know what this is. Look, 36, 69, 84. I know what this is. This ain't a capacitor. It wouldn't make sense. This is the high score, and there's the window, so you can roll it at the end of the day, and then you can alter your score level, because it did say this at the end of it. So yeah, really cool, really cool. So you can actually alter the so it looks like you have to bring that down. So that's it. So that yellow one there is a stopper, stops it from going back, right? So what you need to do is bring that forward as much as you can, and then you can alter that for your high score. So when it shows through, you can actually see it spinning through the window. That's why that has to be closer to the window. So yeah, actually that's going to look cool, because that's what the numbers are for, and it's telling you on here to put the numbers on. Look, so it's telling you to peel the numbers off and put it on the barrel and roll it through, and then the barrel on there obviously tells you, so that's part of the high score table, so you can alter it, so roll it round. That's actually quite cool, I like that. But we can come back to that because I've got all my fingerprints, everything on it, so that could be a last moment thing. Actually, I'm hoping I can get to that. But yeah, right, okay. Oh, we're still building it up. We're not finished yet. No, right, okay, fair enough. Bring it back in. Right, what do we need? I've got a job to see that. What is that? Is that a snappy? No, and again, no, it's not. It's not one of them. It's one of these. It's one of these things. It's one of these sort of like, when you look at it, it's got like a little hole, like a little cross, and I think that's what it sits on. It does sit on it. Okay. So it says it has to sit. Oh look, the bloody bits come off it. It has to sit flush for the end of the things, right? So when you, oh look, dog's ears, great, you get them free of charge in here. So yeah, basically, I think that's what that does. So it sits and it rolls on it. Oh, crying out there, no need to drop that bit. So right, that bit's done, cool. Okay, so we are still building this up by the looks of it, so I might have to put the stickers on this, you know, because if I put all this in and I can't get the stickers on, I'm going to be buggered. So I need 3 of these. I'll wait and see, I'll have a look. If it does, then I'll have to put I didn't really want to put the stickers on because I'll get covered in fingerprints. This fingerprint's mad on this because it's really glossy. One long black one, yeah, okay. Thin long blue one, yeah, there's only one of them. One of the reds, only one of the reds, cool, okay. So what do we need? We need to take this now. Hold up, how do we work that out? Ah, no, we take, what do we do? I'm confused, hold up a minute, I'm more baffled now than anything. So, is that it? Is that how it sits? No, it's not. So, oh, it goes that way. Okay, right. So again, really confusing. Crying out loud. Off. So we got that piece on there, cool. So I've got the flat pieces, so it looks like the red piece has to sit onto that, so it has to sit on it. So and then we'll end up pushing that on. What's the time? 8. So this is going to be the last episode after this is done, because I'm not doing it no more because my back's started to hurt. Yes, it's got high score. Right, okay. Thought it would be at the end of the day. And where does it sit? So we can't put that on at the moment, obviously. So we need 1 thin of the long ones and 1 thin of that. Cool. Cool, man. Right. So, the diode, so which way has it got to be facing? So we're going to be facing Cool. Hey, back. Well done, bud. Yes, so this looks like a high score table. Hold up, have I put that... I think I've put that the right way. Yeah, you have. No, I've put it the wrong way. It's got to go the other way. So it's got to go back and then back. So this is a high score table. I thought it would be, to be honest. So I'll have to count them because they don't look right to me. I don't know how many they... Fucking so tiny, they don't give you the one-to-one. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 12. Hold up. I think that might be wrong. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11. No, it's the right one. It's 12. 12 versus 12. That's why I like the red. Cool. Okay. 12 versus 12. Lovely. So we put that in. But yeah, really cool. So we got that section sorted, so it's facing the back. Cool. Right, next part. We need to make another one of these. Oh, great. Crying out loud. 2 of the small pieces. Right, yeah. Okay, we've got 2 of them. 1 flat piece. Yeah. No. Are they in there? No. Where's that gone? Oh, for crying out loud. It says on there a flat piece on it. I can't find it. Oh, yeah. Is that it? Can I call you mister? Well, it's not on that one, so I can't. That's weird. No, yeah, it's in here. God, that worried me for a minute. Literally worried me for a split second. So what do we need? One of them. We need one of them little round ones with a little hatch. Yep, lovely. One of them. 2 of them. One of them. Right, okay, fair enough. Cool. Oh, let's come off again. Right, leave that. We'll put that piece on there. So first things first. Take the. Hold up a minute. Oh, yeah. You need one of them. Obviously, it won't work. I was going to say. Right. Okay. Fair enough. Let me have a look on that front. So that being facing, that's got to go. Right, number 2 would be 3 on that one. Cool. And we've got. Has that got to go back on there? Sure has. So once we've done that, we then need to put that over there and that cap on that one. Lovely. So we've squeezed all that in the right orientation of the where these need to go. So where does this now need to go? Right up. Hold up. So that is to stand up. Yeah. Stand up against it. So basically you've got the cup, so it looks like you've got another one of these you can pop through and then go through to the other end on that front. Because this is going to say high score, so this looks like it's going to be part of that front. And then you should have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got exactly 7 hanging over. Give me a neck ache. Wow. Right, thank God for that. Anyway, we got there in the end. So, the other part we're going to need now is the other bit of this, and we're going to need a little cog. Is it a little cog? Can I call you mister? What are you get? Do we put that on after? Yeah, I think we... No, we put that on first. That then slides through and that's got to slide in all the way. Now it looks like it, because it ain't going in anymore. I ain't going too mad, I'll break it. Yeah, which one thing I don't want to do. Right, okay, that's in. So basically, we just put the shaft at one in with the little cog at the end of the day. And obviously that little cog will turn the wheel and it will show you the I-score wheel. Because it's going to say I-score. Cool. Okay, fair enough. Right. What we need to do now is make a... Oh, God, my arms. Bomb's gone to sleep. Right. So let me crack on. We need 3 of the little 2 ones on here. Cool. 1 of the block. 1 of the cog. Black cog. Cool. 1 of the little... Can I call you mister? And 1 of the... Where is it? Come on. There it is. There it is. That's the one I was looking for. 1 of the little flat ones. Cool. So, what we need to do is put 1 on there. Cool. Ah, now the other one had a hole in it. Oh, that ain't got an hole in it. That one's got an hole in it. That's cool. Put 1 with an hole in. Cool. Okay. Then a little one on top of that. Cool. Then we need to put that going in. Cool. Then the one with a little cog. Yeah, okay. And then... Oh, you said you need 3 of them. I've got to pick the wrong one up. So we've used 1, so we've got 2 left. Right, hold up. So it's saying on that way. God, you've got to try and get the orientation because again. So what we now if I crying out loud. Right, that looks like that. No, you leave 1 out. Why didn't you bloody tell me that? It looks like you've got to leave 1 out because 1 sits in. Right, okay, fair enough. So one of these was wrong. Oh, crikey, I nearly dropped it then. So it looks like that cog goes that side. Yeah, and then that piece goes underneath there. So yeah, you have to leave 1 of them out, otherwise it's not going to sit in. Now it looks like it now turns with a cog system. So obviously, looking at this, you've got like a cog mechanism sitting on this now. Oh, well, it would do if I just pulled it off. But yeah, when that's come off again, it's not very good, is it? At the end of the day. I might have to pull that. I might have to pull that out a little. Oh. Them bangs. They're not explosions. That's not fireworks. That's just explosions. No, this is just pulling off. It feels tight. Is that right? It is turning it. It is turning it. I mean, that spins freely, but that spins really tight. But it was saying on there, that's what you need. Because otherwise you can't fit 1 of them blue bits in there. So it must be. That's what he's saying. That's what it's telling me that you've got to have. But I'm just trying to move this up a little bit. You push that down just a tad. perhaps, no, just comes off. As soon as you put a little bit of pressure, perhaps it's going to be held down by something at the end of the day. It does turn it though, it does turn, but you have to hold it. But it sort of turns the wheel. But not great, but there might be another part of the mechanism, and once that goes over, that might give it some structural, because this is going to be the last stream for the day, because my neck started to hurt again now, because this is what happened yesterday, because this Lego is tiresome. It's a long build. 2,000 pieces is enough. I wouldn't like to do that Millennium Falcon. God almighty. I mean, this is just, you could probably get away with it back in the days when you used to do Lego, because when you're young, you know, you could sit up for hours and hours and hours at end. I used to when I used to do networking or gaming. I had about 7 computers all linked up, daisy chained, and I had all my mates over, and it was every Friday night. It was gaming night. It was great. I've got to admit, it was a great laugh. I had 7 PCs, some in the bedroom, 1 in the kitchen, a couple in the hallway, some in the front room. We had all these wires all interlinked, and I created a virtual network. I used an old computer, I think it was an old Dell computer, that dumped everything onto the server. So that was doing all the server, that's all it was doing. It was great for server, it weren't great for games. And everything was going through the server, a virtual server, and we had outside players coming in, and all of a sudden it got swamped. There was 7 of us, jumped on, and then it was mayhem. It was actually really, really funny, and I've got that on film when I used to do the old filming nights with the streaming. With the serve back in the early days, but yeah, that was back in the 2000s. But fucking, what was we playing? Doom? I think we played them all. We played some of them Gary's mod, but it was just really comical on that front, because it was on. We actually got mentioned on Stream Elements, because we posted it. One of my mates posted it on YouTube back on his channel, because I never had YouTube at the time. And Stream Elements actually commented on their thing. They said, that looks fun. It looks like his friends created a virtual server, and that was me. And it was just mayhem with all the players, because there weren't many multiplayers back in the days on that. It was just taking off. So, yeah, actually. So I've got a shout out. I was actually quite proud of that fun. But, yeah, that was really, I've got to admit, that was fun as hell. I'm glad I did. I missed them days, because now you do it all online. Back in them days where the internet was just started to get up to speed, there weren't really many multiplayer games that was playing on it. It was just virtually tried to get taken off, but when they're serving and all your mates are coming over, it's just more fun. So we all turned on each other. It was like a pack of wild dogs. We was all fighting for our own space. So there's about 8, 9 people all in, and you're thinking, Jesus, it's a bit like the old Call of Duties. It was just mayhem. It was all happening all at once at the end of it. So yeah, quite funny. Put the 2 on one side and 3 on the other, right? So we've created that piece. So it looks like we're going to have to build this up at the front. So again, same thing, but in reverse, right? Oh, hold up. Where's the 3? Oh, for crying out loud. No. Don't tell me we're a block short. Unless it's hiding, it's in front of my couch. My eyesight's going bad. No. They're all things on there. No, I can't see it. Oh no. That's not great. Because it's saying you've got to do it again, but in reverse. And I can't physically see that brick. It's got to be black. So you've got 1, but you need it on the other side. So you've got to do it on the reverse side. So 1 goes on 1, and then the 3 goes on the other. And I haven't got a 3. I've got a 6. See what I mean? Again, not in a bag. This unless I'm missing something out, or I've done something wrong. But again, not the greatest. Can I put that? No, you can't put that one on there. Oh. What about that one? Is that a 4? No, that one's a 5. Oh, chopsticks. You know, at the end of the day, these builds are really pushing my patience to its limit. You know, especially this Lego. I'm praising Lego, saying, fantastic. No bit short. No, load of cobblers. Of course there's bloody bit short. And I'm following it book by book. I'm following it by the page. And I've got the brick, I've got the short, I've got no free. Unless the dog's at it, at it, but, you know, he just looked at me. He's still got yoghurt in his head. I ain't wiping the yoghurt off, leave it on there. My mum say, what's up with him? Why's he got yoghurt in his head? Say, don't ask me. Dog's ready to eat the yoghurt. God, it's thirsty work. I've drank more than what I've got it at the other end, I think. No. Let me just double check, because I know these things end up hiding and think, oh, there it is. And it ain't. But I can assure you it's not here. And I haven't got, it ain't gone behind the book, is it? Oh, why is everything just, I'm near enough at the end of this section, and now it's taunting me, it's winding me up. Oh no, quick, hide. Ain't fell on the floor, is it? I don't think it has, because I would have known if it had gone on the floor. I know one thing for sure, my backside's bloody hurting. Yeah, you know when I say to you about the chair, right, with that black stuff, yeah, look at it. Right, let me show you the chair. It's literally, is that chair upside down? Hold up. Yeah, let me put it the right way, right? That was all up, look, it's gone all down the side of me chair. That come off that bloody wheel and it smothered everything. It's like bitumen. Now it's on, that chair's brand new. Well, it would do, but not anymore, it ain't, at the end of it. And I kid you not, that come off all of that, where that belt was disintegrating. It went like, it went like oil. I can't see any bits on the floor. Half of that's still on the carpet. I ain't even got that on the carpet. I'm going to have to get my mum's carpet wash round. Wash the carpet. No, there ain't. I would have known if there was any bits missing, I'd have felt it. That's not on there. That's bloody annoying. So how am I going to finish that then? I'm going to have to pinch one of the blocks. The trouble is that going to put me a block short? Crying out loud. No, I can't even do that. Right, this is not good. Because that's now left. If I use 2 of these, I might be one of these short. I'm going to have to just leave that gap and have a look. Come back to that in a minute. At the end of the day. Now it's saying on this one that you need 2 of the long ones. Right, we have got 2 of them. We've got 1 of the long ones. Yeah, we've got 1 of the long ones there. Cool. 1 of the 3. Yeah, okay. And 1 of the 2. Yeah, we have. Okay, cool. So we've got that. So let's build, I think it's pointing it along the top part there. I think that's what it's building. So we take the super long one. Is it the super long one? Yep, super long one. And put it on the 3 brick on the plane at one end. So we put it at the 3 at the one end. On that front. This little 4K camera is really cool. It's, you know, it's about 70, I think it's about 70, 80 pounds, but it's got a really sharp image. It's just a shame it's fixed. You know, it's got a fixed, like fixed zoom on that front. On that. But yeah, you just have to bring it down closer. And that other arm I bought from AliExpress, paid £15 for it. It's crap. Absolutely, I'm disappointed. I can't even take it back. So I'll just pull it back in a box and forget about it. I won't be buying that again. Thought I'll get a nice aluminium arm. It's sturdy. This is flexy, is it? Well, the thing's sturdy, but it won't clamp properly to the table. And when I tried moving it, it wobbles all over the bloody place. I tried tightening it up, and I went, no, this is crap. You know, at the end of the day, it's not great. So I've had to fix it to this one, which was meant for the other point. So what I've done, I've put a 2 in there, a flat 2, and the remaining one sits on this. So it creates, so it creates 3, and then you need to put that all the way up, and you should have 1 remaining. And that's what I've done. So 1 remaining. That's all I hear. They got a kid downstairs, because them 2 are always right at rabbits. They're always at it. Right. When I'm trying to watch a stream and you're hearing her bleeding, you know, getting excited, all I'm hearing is that kid screaming. You know, it just don't seem to scream. I'm sure she just switches off. She ain't even bothered. You know. But, oh no, we don't need that. It's not going on there, is it? It's going on there. So, yeah. What's that going on? Is that going on? It looks like... Oh, now she's shouting. Oh, God. Yeah, it looks like it does. It goes over. As it goes over the cog? I'm confused. Because, again, the picture's not doing it any justice. I think it don't. It hides behind it. I can't see. Because, again, look at the picture. The picture, if you look at the picture on there, it doesn't do it any justice. This is what I'm saying about the angle. It's bloody book. I think it looks like it goes behind, because otherwise it won't clip. And it's got to miss the cog, and that misses the cog. And it's showing you one side, so I assume that is the right way. But I'm still disappointed that we're a brick missing at the end of the day. Right, okay, now it looks like we need to cover this up, so, God, my bloody neck's really hurting. Right, we need 1 of 3, 1 of these, oh no, 2 of the 3, 2 of the 3, cool, and what do we need? Put 1 on one side of that, 1 on the other, okay, cool, and we look like we continue and we leave it over. But, as I said, I've now got a hole in it, which is not ideal, but it's covered the top. But now I've got a bloody hole in it, and you're not supposed to have an hole here at the end of the day. And you know I was saying about with the build on that. But now that's sturdy, that's not coming off now at the end of the day. So I am still annoyed at thinking that part of this is, you know, still a brick missing from that point. But I'll see what's left over, because they always leave some bricks over. Whatever's over, I'll see if I can try and put something on it, fill that in. Preferably it's got to be black. But again, I think that's it. Why have I got all these bits over then? I don't get that. Why have they given me all these extra parts? I've got loads here. And we're near enough at the end of the build. Look. It then slots in. So where's all these going? Where's all these bits? I mean, is that on the... Oh no, we've still got to continue. Oh, thank God for that. I was a bit confused. I mean, what? Well, where's they all go? Thought that can't be it. I've got loads left over. I thought, oh God. Right, so on the back, you've got to put some little slope ones in. Right, I'm annoyed that it's got an hole in and that, but it's because we're a brick missing. We haven't got the correct brick. For some reason, I can't find the brick. We needed a 6, and I didn't have a 6. There ain't a 6 here. Found it. There's the 6. Oh, for crying out loud. What did I say earlier on about black versus that black, and it's black. Look, I've got a job to see it, right? And it was hiding in that corner. Unbelievable. I thought, no, now I can take that back off and do it properly. That's the proper one. Oh, that worried the living daylights out of me, that did. Now I can put it on. Put it all back. And that looks better. Oh, no, hold up. Got it the wrong way. So it's got to go over. Yay! And now that looks better. That looks better, yeah. So now it covers it in. And now on that. But I can't believe it. That was hiding in that cover. And this is the trouble with these bloody bricks. They're so dark. Literally, you've really got to look. I mean, on that front. But thank God I have, because that would have really spoilt it and ruined it on that front. So, cool. Okay. But we've got two bits at the end here. We've got to leave this blank for some reason. Oh, no, don't. Because that goes in there, didn't it? Let me double check. Yeah, we have. So that has to come back up. It comes back up and then it sits closely. So that brick on that corner, right, you have to make sure that that sits in that corner there, and that then sits flush. So we've got a nice finish on that corner. So now that looks flush on there. So that is correctly how that's done, right? Because it has to be facing at the back, not the front. Because this all has to be straight at the end of the day, except for there. I don't know what's going on there. Well, on there, it's saying that you're supposed to have a brick going across it. I haven't got a brick to go across that. That looks like a 4. I haven't got a 4. Huh? I'm baffled. I'm more confused than ever. And there ain't no more bits in that, is there? No, there ain't. Does this sit down in something? I don't know. Let me double check. No, it don't. Let's check the box for a minute. Because the box tell you. Well, the box don't really do it much justice. No, the box saying it's filled in. Oh, for crying out loud. So I still can't put all this back because that's got to be sorted out. And the only way to sort that out is take the bottom part off and fill it in. But you can't fill it in. There's no holes there. What? There's literally no holes. So unless it's a blank plate. It might be a blank plate. Ah, I think that might be that blank plate. It is that blank plate. So you have to put a blank plate. Look, the blank plate has to sit in, because there's no holes in it. Well, how does that work then? Look, the blank plate fills it in. So it was this one. So I didn't do it. So what is that? Does that literally go across? So it's the 4th one up. That's it. So we can't... So after 3, put it on the 4th, and then that slots in. Yeah. And then that should slot into play. And it does. Yeah, it blocks it in. So that was the correct way. I'm glad I found that out now, because this is going to be part of the high score table at the end of the day. And hopefully, by then, this does turn, and then I might be able to put the high scores and roll it in, because the high score says high score on there, but it's covered in fingerprint marks with all my greasy hands. Obviously, it's glossy. It's gonna pick up like a magnet. I knew it was going to happen. Right. Now, we can't do no more to this section. I need to clear this. Right. Put this to one side, because we haven't finished yet. It now looks like I've got to put this on top, on this side. And it sits on top. And it does sit on top. Does that... Well, hold up. How does that sit? Right. Oh, it has to sit flush. God. Right. That's not sitting. That's not biting. Does that have to go forward or something? I don't know. These something don't feel right, because it's saying on there, you clip it. It sits up here. So I can't see it to be sitting on the highest score side on it, unless I'm doing it wrong. You have to raise it forward. Ah, it does, but you have to raise it forward. But why is one side hanging over more than the other? That don't look right. One side looks like it's hanging over more. Look, and it don't sit. Something's not right. One side sits in, one side sticks out. Huh? Now, Bonson, what on earth are you doing? Stretching? Mad dog. You think so? Yeah, that is weird, isn't it? I mean, let's have a look to see how this fits in. No, they're sitting straight. It looks like they're sitting straight. That's not sitting at an angle, unless it is sitting at an angle. I don't know. But it won't sit straight for some reason. And again, it says it sits flush. How can it sit flush? I can't sit it. Can't seem to sit it flush for some. This is confusing. This is what I'm saying about the book. On the book, again, book don't do it any justice. So again, looking at this, just says it sits, and it points an arrow to one side, which is this side, right, that I'm looking at, where the high score bit is, where the wheel turns, and it just highlights in yellow. But it's not saying, because of the angle of the thing, it looks like it's sitting dead straight. And I'm completely baffled because one, oh, where's that come from? Oh, it's come off the side. One, you've got all these sitting on here, right? But does it? He's saying it sits flush. It doesn't sit back. Well, that looks more like it. That looks now perfect. But it's not flush because we've got these bits in the way. So, which is weird because that's that side there. So if I put it onto the middle, if I put it on these middle ones, it sits perfect. But I can't put it on anywhere else because if I go right back, it won't sit at all. I don't think it will. It won't have it for some reason. No, it's not. But if I put it on the middle section, it sits spot on, but in the middle. It doesn't sit flush. And then, oh, that side's overhanging slightly. No, it's not there. It looked earlier on, I suppose, and it did look like it. No, it's not there. No, it sits, one side slightly sits over, protrude more than another. And I don't quite get it. I'll leave it off, put this in, because the mechanism's all done. And it's telling me to put it into the arcade bit itself, look. So it's telling me to slot it all back in now. And then once that's all done, because again, it just shows you arrows. That's all it shows you. It don't tell you the correct way of putting this in. And then we'll see where this, and then you've got the clips. So these clips should clip it all into place. So you've got clips at the bottom and clips at the top. So I'll put this in, leave that out, and see how we get on. Now I've got to be really careful here because I don't want to tempt fate. It does look cool now. It does look nice, I've got to admit. It's a bloody heck of a build. I mean, you know, it really is a heck of a build. So what we need to do, we've got the little clips. Yeah, right, that one's in, and that one's in, and that one's in. Oh, that's all right. So you can actually see on the clips, right? So there's little tiny clips at the bottom there, and that's all they do. They just clip in with these little orange clips. So it just literally snaps into place. So you've got one there and one at the bottom. That's it. That's all that's holding it in. So that's it. Nothing else. And now if I turn the rotor wheel, now if I turn the handle, right? Oh, I'm pulling this off. If I turn the handle, watch on the handle side. Now look, all the mechanism works, which is cool, and it's running beautiful. It's really smooth at the end of the day. So it looks like now the Pac-Man is now chasing and it's going around. That is cool. I've got to admit, that is super cool. I really like that. That's I know it's a pain in the backside, but yeah, that is really super smart. Now let's put this. See if we can put this back on. I'll leave it off because we'll put the sides on because we've got to build the sides up because we've still got a lot of Lego there at the end of the day. But that is the mechanism now done, right? It's sorted at the back of it. So that is now clipped into play. That ain't going anywhere. And I've done all of the cog mechanism and the bits around here so it comes all down. But it does look, I've got to admit, it does look really smart. I'm really impressed how that's come out. Damn. It's done. No, because I've still got all this lot. Look, this is still part of part 10. Look. And I'll put all this on, right? I've actually put all this on. But now, this won't sit on top. So, I'm pretty sure, looking at the... obviously, these are going to be... I don't know if these have got to go inside. So, I've clipped them in. I've followed the book. I've done exactly what it says. But, it's now... Because it tells you to wind it to give it a go. So, basically saying, looking... You know, obviously now it's all turning. And it does turn really nice. So, it's running really freely on that front. Which is cool. But now it tells you to continue where we left off with the other part. Looks amazing, it is. I've got to admit, I know it's not the easiest to build and it's really challenged me. I'd like to see Andy try something like this and see how it drives his patience, because I think it would have pushed you to that point thinking, damn, you know, I think he would have lost more than one piece. I mean, I've done my best not to try to lose any pieces out of this, and it's not been the easiest. But I haven't. But there has been one or two pieces missing. But you've got to look, because these black pieces, they're jet black. Hello, Q4. How you doing, buddy? Yes. So as I said, look how far I've got. So now I've got up to this point where I've done the mechanism and done all this. So yeah, really cool on that front. But yeah, I've got to continue because we've got the other bits that I need. I'm not sure about that top piece yet because I don't know where that's sitting. And again, I've got to put the highest score and all the other bits on, but I want to see where it's going. So now it looks like I need all the big pieces. Nice. Yeah, it's a challenge. When it's nearly 3,000 pieces, yeah, it's not exactly... I can say why now. They purely say on the box, at the end of the day, where did they say it? Battery's not included, and it clearly says on the box, right, where did they say it? 18 plus. So, yeah, there's no way this is going to be for kids. Kids ain't... I mean, I've struggled even trying to put this. I mean, at part 14, this part, it's took more complex bit like doing that maze. It's really been a challenge. I mean, it really has been a challenge on that front. But it's saying now I've got a need on the book. I mean, there's 360 odd pages, and I'm up to 267. So I ain't done but too bad on that front. But just, it's these little bits. Oh my God, they are challenging. You know. So, looking at these, it says, oh, I've got indigestion. Chronic. Two of the black one pieces. I need 2 of the bricks. No, 1 brick, sorry. Take that back. 1 of that one. Yep, okay. 1 of the flat. Cool. Now we need 2 of the yellow. I think this is going to be building it up inside. Got a sneaky suspicion. And look, I keep pulling them off. Bloody dog's ears. Unbelievable. Yeah, I can imagine. It is definitely a challenge. It is absolutely a challenge on that front. I've never known anything. I mean, I might have done it back in the 8 days when I was doing this when I was a kid, but God, I think this is my limit. I wouldn't like to do that big Millennium Falcon because 7,000 pieces. Come on. I mean, you know, it's, and the Death Star. I date to think how many pieces there is. It's got to be over 1 million pieces all day long. It just is absolute nightmare. So, yeah, I probably would say no. I'd skip that one. But yeah, I think that one, this one will even be a charge for even for Andy too. Right, yellow brick. So we got a block of. Yep, yellow brick on that one. Yep, okay. 1 yellow 3. Come on, where's the yellow 3? There's a nice one. And 1 yellow 2. Nice. So we don't need these for a minute. We can push these back. Right, cool. So it tells you to start off with, oh, and 1 flat 6. Right, okay. So we need to start off with that, and then we need to make our way. Hold up a minute. How many does it say? It says you've got to need 5. Oh. So we've got 5 of the 2s. 3, 4, 5. So it says on there. So on the 5, we need to just build it up. I think it's worth it. I know it's a pain, but it's a massive build. It really is a massive build. And that's only small. I mean, you know, to do a small piece, if it can take you 4 to 5 hours to do that, I mean, this has took me a few days. And I've been cracking at this every single day just to get this done. Anyway, stack this one up. We need to stack one side of the yellow, one side of the black. Hollow sides in, right? That's how we want it. Well, obviously this has got to go on something. Right. Yeah, you need the yellow and black ones going on. So black on black, yellow on yellow. Right, and it looks like you're going to have to do that again with the black and yellow ones. Oh, we'll do. It's the only thing with this type of stuff. But yeah, the black on the yellows does look really nice when it's all done. So, oh, right, I've done that wrong then, did I? It says that you've got to put that in between. Really? I would have said you would have put that up the end. That don't make sense by putting it up that. You can't put it up that end. What's it on about? No, I'll put it up this end. Should be alright. It bonds it together. That's all that matters. It's at the end of it. So it sits there. Oh, I see why. Because of the colour coordination. That's probably why it's done it. Black and yellow. Team clouds. Really? Oh, nice one. Yeah, I like it. It actually does. It's a really lovely colour. No, it's saying that's wrong. I don't get that. Don't know why it's saying it's wrong at the end of it. Oh, I see. Because you've got to keep the colour scheme. So it's basically saying extend the colours, then do it. Right. I know why. It's because then when it comes up to the end, it's then all colour coded. So this is part of, this is what it's got to do. So you've got to extend the colour range on it. So insides go in. You know, my throat's going now. Great, lovely. Right, so yellow on yellow on the top, 3 at the sides, brilliant. And then just to rinse and repeat. Oh, hold up a minute. Does that one side go? Yeah, one black goes to one side of that, and then that bonds to that side. But that don't feel too great because look, I mean that piece has just come back out again. But you know, if that's what they're saying, that's what they're saying. I suppose in it, once this is in, this ain't going nowhere anyway. Right, okay, we've got to leave this section out. I don't know why, but that's what he's saying on section 6. And it looks like this builds up against the remaining wall. So, what side does this go? This side. At the end of it. So, we'll leave that there. So, oh, it's not in properly. Cool. So, but we've got the light. I've done the light thing, so all the light, it lights up. So it does look cool. I mean, it really does. But I love the colour scheme. That jet black really pops with that bright yellow. It really stands out. But it's really dark. I was saying it's really. They normally Lego. I don't think they done black. That normally that colour, not that sort of dark range. And we got to do the same again. 5 of the 2s. Yeah, we got 5 of them. 2 of the yellows, 2 of the blacks. Yeah, great. Same thing, because it looks like we've got to build the sides back up again. Yeah, one of them. 1 black, 1 free. One of 2. Yeah, okay. And 1 of the yellow standoff ones. Right, cool. Make sure that it's double correct. Yeah, it is. Cool, okay. Same thing again. Oh, and you want a block of 6, which we've got in there. They're 4 ones. That's it. It looks like I've got to do the same again. That's why I ain't put that section back on, because I ain't put this back on this thread yet. Just because this wasn't sitting right, and I've done it correctly. But again, this has been such a challenge. It really has. Right, one side black, one side yellow. One side black, one side yellow. Boxes go inwards, so you can actually see it. Look, see, I mean, you can't see it on there, you can't pick it up, but fingerprints. How am I supposed to put all the decals on when you've got like all your fingerprint marks stuck to it? It's covered. So I'm gonna have to. What I do is put my gloves on. So I'll clean all this once it's all back together, and then I've got all the decals to put on. So, you know, and it does shine through the 25 cents play at the end of the day. But I need to get all these fingerprint marks off. I can't have all these on there. Yeah, absolutely, it just spoils it. So again, small on that part. That one goes on there. Like I said, I'd like to see Andy try to build something like this and see his reactions, because you've only got to lose one part, and that would have been a challenge. It would have been hilarious to actually. I would love to just sit down and try and work it out, because that book might as well be in Chinese or Greek, because it is not very helpful. It's just not very helpful at all. So on that front, but yeah. So what we got now is one of these. So we've got a nice long one to go on there. That goes over. Yep, it does. The threes go on there. Lovely. And we've got... Is that all I got? Well, where's... Oh, right, okay. No, I was going to say, blimey, is that right? that looks like that one does more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's right. It's actually saying it is right. So it just sits on it. Oh, you've got to put a black one on first and then it sits over. Right, that's why. But hang on a minute, that don't sit right. That's right now. So put the black block on, the 2 square ones, so you've got the same gap on there. And I think this is where the iScore table sits. Right. That then sits on this. So now we've got that side sitting on that front. That's now, we've still got a few bits left, but I'm glad I'm nearly done. Now it says on that, that's where it sits on that. Now I can sit that iScore thing in, and let's see if it fits in. No, it's still not having it. Wow. Something's not right with this iScore, because for some reason it doesn't seem to want to sit right. And I can't seem for it to sit in. So it just don't want to sit. It just don't want to sit in place. Oh, we are. It's in. Here you go. It does fit in. Thank God for that. Yeah, it's in. Now it sits in place. It wasn't sitting right. Something wasn't right, but I did follow the book, and it's just snapped into place, which is cool. Oh, thank God for that. That's the main thing. That is now set into place. So it is. It is. So you've got it finishes the flush, so on the side there, at the end of the day. So now when you turn, you can actually see it. Snakes it just a tiny little bit. But that chain wasn't the easiest thing to put together. I know that for damn sure. Right, well, I'm glad that top platel's in, because that's done my head in. Right, okay. 1 of these, and we need 2 of the standoffs. Cool. Where do they go? Right, upright. So it looks like they've got to go from behind. Second one from the end there, and the second one from the end there. So right, cool, okay. Then we take the long one, then put that in. How many do we need to go down? 3.5. 1, 2, 3.5. Yeah, that's exactly it. 1, 2, 3.5, and then we slot that into place. So now you've got this piece, which it looks cool. So yeah. Fucking arse, it's gone to sleep. I've sat in this chair for so long. When did I start streaming? Probably since what? Just before 1 o'clock, and I ain't stopped since. So yeah, this is another long stream. Putting this, it's just what I said. The streams. I just wanted to crack on, get this done, because once this is done, I'll say thank God for that. I ain't got to do another one. You know, especially if it being. I mean, this is only part 10. We've still got another 4 bags to finish this off. But it's now sort of getting to the end. This is why I'm doing it in parts. It makes sense. I can't just illy-nilly. It makes sense to do it in parts. So what we need to do now, the stream has been running for 2 hours and 35 minutes. Wow. Normally the last one was just over 3 hours. So I've been cracking on for this every day for about over 2.5 to 3 hours a stream. Sounds about right. So, right, these little, obviously these tiny pieces, let me bring it in, you can clearly see, needs to go, one goes in one end of this, of that plug. I'm looking at that, one and another, because we need 4, and then just repeat. They got to go in the front. So we've got these facing. So this looks like this clips into something. Nope. Yep, it does. We need another 2 of these. Is it them? Of the blocks? Or is it the square? No, it's the square ones. We don't need them yet. So I mean with these little bits, they float around there. You can easily lose them. So I need to clip that in. Clip that in. So we got now got that sort of feel. right at the front and that piece is at the back, right? But we ain't finished yet because it looks like I've got to put more into this. So how many do we need? Another 4. 2, and we've got exactly 4 at the end of it. So again, 1 in that side, 1 in the other, and then 2 on the other side. So now it does this, so which is cool at the end of it. So yeah, right, lay that down. Now we need to take the corners, because this looks like it's going to be, this is going to be part of the finished build now. We slot it in at the front, because again, it's going to give a black and yellow theme. So we just need to put these bits and just slot them in like that. It does, it tells you what to do, just so it finishes, gives it off a nice sort of things on it. So yeah, really nice feel. So that gives that premiumship sort of feel to it. So we've got to work this side. I've got to work with what the book says. So then what we need to do is take the long stream ones, centre. I won't put these on yet because it's saying on there you need to put these at the end. Right, one at one end, one at the other. So you've got like a corner. So it's got like that. And then it says 2 yellows, and then you put that one piece in. And then that piece fits perfect, and it does. It's snug. And that's the design we want. So hopefully, it's cool. Right, only a few pieces left now, so which is great. And say thank God for that. Right, hold up. So what do we need? 1 piece of this. We need a grey piece of that. Put your glasses on, I'll read your message. Bloody see it. I can't, I'm better, blind as a bat. I love Lego when I grew up. Yeah, everyone loves it. When it was a lead battery pack and the motor, I usually like built a car and you could drive it forwards and backwards. Yeah, I think this is what got me into Lego, and then I moved on to Meccano. Because Meccano was more mechanical and it was all made out of metal. And Meccano was great. I just loved Meccano. I think it just looked with the pieces of the thin metal, you make some really lovely cars. But it was all nuts and bolts, so it really was more involving when it comes to mechanical side, because you feel like you had to get a spanner and you had to get and then tighten all the little nuts and bolts up to do it. But it did have to look cool, the cars. And I used to love the Meccano cranes with the wire, and you used to wind it down and you used to pick things up, and I thought, bloody hell. But Lego done the same thing. It was really clever. Like, you know, you could build like a little electric car, and it had like a little long wire with a battery pack. You watch it, you can they've done like a little dumper truck, and you used to, the dumper truck used to move up and down. This again, mechanical wise, I think this is nothing like, it's all right doing puzzles, but blimey. Oh yeah, I tried Meccano. Yeah, I probably loved it as a kid. Yeah, I did. And then until I got bored, and I started bending it into different shapes, and then the car looked deformed. It didn't look like a car no more. It looked like a beaten up, bleating wreck, like some of these old bangers are today. You know, but yeah, man, it did make me laugh. I got to admit, but they was great. It really, really did. But I think if it did, it's like I still got. Up in my mum's loft, it's still up there. I don't know if it still works, and I'll have to dig it out. It's a massive Scalextrics. It's my original Scalextrics I had in the 80s, and I've still got it, and it's got Scalextrics on it. It's the early 1980s one. I bought it just after in the midterm of Woolworths when I was working in Woolies at the end of the day, and I used to. What I think some of the cars are a bit beaten up. One of them looks like it's a little Rover Metro type. And what I used to do when I used to where I've lived, when my mum and dad used to go shopping, I used to stay indoors and have an episode of Dukes of Hazzard. So what I used to do was take it all the way up the top of the stairs, build a ramp, and just let the car fly off the track and see how far it can smash down the bottom of the stairs into a stairs. Yeah, and I come back. And I said to you know, and when my mum was doing the hoovering, she used to tread on bits of Scalextric where the car smashed all into bits. And it was comical because she used to go off her head and say, "What the hell is this? I've just trod on part of your bleeding Scalextric set here." She said, "Next time, do it in your bedroom." And it was comical. It was just stuck to her foot. Like, you know, it was wedged. So as if it was made for your foot. But yeah, absolutely hilarious. Times I used to do that, go through cars. I used to go in Woolworths and buy another car and do the same thing again. It was just hilarious to watch. And I used to do like episodes of the Dukes of Hazzard. You know, and see if it can try and jump. I used the stairs as a canyon, see if it can try and make it to the other side. 9 out of 10, no, it didn't, just obliterated. It was as funny as hell. I remember something similar back on the Scalextrics on the days where Dad used to come over the attic. I've got to admit, you know, the train sets are bad enough, but I think the Scalextric was right up there with number one. The times what we used to, you know, this is the reasons why I love games like Hard Driven for the Amiga, right, where you used to go round the track, jump the ramps, go round the loop, and you know this is what the Scalextric was not about. But you was trying to make it into like a loop situation or try and jump things when you're not supposed to. At the end of the day, I mean the things that you end up doing, I don't know, mate. It's right back funny in your days, but it was hilarious to watch. I used to absolutely sit there and crack myself up and thinking, bloody hell, I just destroyed that car. Now I wish I didn't, because I didn't realise how bloody much them cars were worth. You know, they had a Sierra Cosworth one in there and the Escorts. Just them cars alone, they were comical. You know, they're worth a fortune. But the ones I had were plastic pigs. They were really, really broke up in the cars and they drift off the road. Yeah, they was, because I think they did. But these were premierships back in the days. But now, if you get them in good condition, no, I wouldn't advise it, because now they're collector's items. But I wish I bloody didn't do what other things I've done. It's like I had which I was really gutted, and I still say it about on this day. I'm gutted that I did not, when my parents moved, they left behind my chopper bike, my rally chopper, and I really wanted that more than anything. That bike, I still got an hole in my knee through that bike. And so that really brought back memories of thinking, great, I used to just shove bits of card into the back wheel so it sounds like it's purring. So you're driving like a car up the road. Bits of plastic bottles wedged in it at the end of the day. It was scraped up, it was beaten up, but it was complete. And so they left it behind, they didn't want it. And being a kid at the time, I wasn't bothered, but now I really wish I kept it, because that would have been really dear to me on that front. But yeah, again, great memories on that, absolutely great memories. No, we're still a bit short. I'm still a bit short on here, because it says you've got to do this by 2, and I've only got one of these. See, this is what really bugs me with these bloody builds. I know they give you bits out of here, but yeah, I was lucky. I still got my old moped, Yamaha, my DTX MX, since I was 16, and I'm now 35. Well, I've got a Yamaha. I've got a Yamaha Jog 50RR. Bit beaten up. I used it for motocross. You know, I've cleaned it up to the best I can, but now the carburetor, I haven't used it in years. And the petrol's all gone stale, and the carburetor's buggered, so it needs a new carburetor. But again, that brings back memories, because I still got me picture of me and my mate when we was on the old bikes over the fields at the end of the day. So, what the hell is that? It's a screw on the floor. Oh, fucking hell. See, I've got brown carpet, which don't help. No, I'm one bit short. Oh, do you believe that? That's a shame, because I've got the bits that need to go in at the side here, but so Lego are still shafting me for bits out of this at the end of the day. So they were supposed to go on at the back, but I can't put one at this side because I haven't got one, and that's it. That was the last of the build, because on the picture it says you need to do it twice. Look, it says ×2. and I've only got one piece, which is what's name. So that's where it sits. It sits at the top of this build. Or just clean out the carb. I did strip the carburetor, but the trouble is now it won't. It runs really lumpy and then it just dies out. It's an old carburetor. I've never replaced it because I was using it for motocross. I didn't bother putting it on the road when me and my mate was mucking about back in the 80s days, and I still kept the bike. I mean, the bike's in pretty good nick. I mean, I've only got to sand down all the panels and repaint them, and it'll look like brand. It'll look like new again. But classic, goes like clappers. It does. That Yamaha. I've been restoring my old Yamaha, and I'm really happy with it and how it looks now. Yeah, my mum said to me, she said, "What are you doing with that bloody moped in the garage?" She said, "Are you selling it?" I went, "Well, the trouble is, it set me back over £1,000." I said, you know, and it's a really good bike. It's not fast, it's really quick because it's an aero. It's air cooled. It's an air cooled 2-stroke, and it fucking goes like the clappers. I mean, put it this way, it says it's supposed to be capped at 30. You can get 50 out of it. At the end of the day, it's not been overboard. It's just the way it's designed. There was supposed to be a limiter on the actual. There's a box inside. And what it does, it limits the revs, so you can only go up to about 5,000 revs. Well, I took the box out and bypassed it, and as soon as you do that, it takes it to its maximum. So, which you're not supposed to, but it fucking does go like the hell. It really gets up the road, flies up the hill, and it discs on there. Yeah, the law says it's 30, but it's probably at 45, 50. Yeah. Well, it is. Mine was limited. I took the limiter off because I took this box out, and this box dealt with the limit of the speed of the moped. But I read online, it says if you take the box away and just unplug the box and bypass the wire, and they said you'll get the full max out of it. I've done it, and it went like the clappers. I went, fucking Jesus, put the fear of God into me. But now I've done an electric bike. I built an electric bike, and that's near enough as quick as my bloody moped. And that flies like hell. And I'm not joking. I took it from 20 mile an hour and it does 45. And I went, fucking hell, on an electric bike. And it just looks like so what I've done, I put a bigger wheel on it and put this conversion kit. And it shifts. It really goes for an electric bike, and it's frightening. You know, I thought the moped was bad enough. But, yeah, it's what you're born with, isn't it? You know, you come off it, scrape a knee. You know, if you come back with a big hole in your elbow at the end of the day, that's right, get back up, do it again. You know, it's a bit like Jackass. You can't help it. It's just going to be one of them things. But it's all part of the fun of the parcel of it. So, what was these for? Oh, I see. I know what that was for. That looks... No, hold up. Why have I got 2 bits here then? I've got 2 of these bits, so what the heck did they give me these for? Because again, he didn't say anything on here. No, it's not. So they've given me these, and I haven't got nothing to, yeah, nice. I've always wanted to buy one of the e-bikes. Well, I bought one from Argos, and it was capped at 15.5 mile an hour. And I went, I'm sure I can peck that up a bit. Yeah. I wish I didn't now, because now I put the fear of God into myself when I'm on a bike, and it's only got 1 disc brake at the end of the day. It's supposed to be pedal assist. 15.5 is the legal speed. Anything above that's classed as a moped. You need tax and insurance and MOT. Right? That's what the law says. But I wasn't happy with that 15.5. It felt like walking speed. I went, this fucking shit. And I paid £700 for the bike. So what I've done, I spent a further £350 and upgraded. Yeah, I upgraded, alright. I went from a 1.5 kilowatt motor to a 5,000 kilowatt motor, and it give it a pep, alright. It felt like nitros. It felt like nitros on the back of it. It lifted it will lift you up. It's mental, you know. So now I've got the 5,000 kilowatt one in there, and I put a 72,000 battery amp on the back of it, so it's got plenty of oomph, and it'll shoot me up the hill where my mum lives, and she's got a really steep hill, and it's steep. it'll fly up there at 25 mile an hour at the end of the day, and people look at me and just laugh, think you're mad, absolutely mad. But now, if I'm on the straight, it'll do 45, 46 mile an hour. It's nearly as quick as my moped. It's frightening. I can see why the police say, if we catch you, we'll take it off you. I can wonder at it. You know, it's probably does for that reason at the end of it. But I'm really confused where these go, because they didn't say anything. Because that's the right width on there, because they're telling you to put this on. But I've got 2 parts over, and I went, well, I've looked at the bloody book. Oh, yes, over there we use KP. Well, when I was over in France and I drove into Germany, everything was in KPH, KMH. It was kilomiles an hour, the kilometres an hour, basically. So I didn't. When I went to one of the where was it? It was the 35th anniversary of the D-Day landings when I went with my friends. So we started off. Yeah, the kilometres in an hour to you. Yeah, and when I drove off, I started off at Dunkirk. We followed because in France again it's in kilometres. It's not in miles an hour. It's only the UK that uses miles an hour. Everyone else uses kilometres. So it's the way they've always drive. And again, we're the only country that drive on the bloody, on the left-hand lane, where everyone drives on the right. So, and again, the UK, we're the only one in the UK that uses 240 volts. Everyone else uses 110, which again, a total waste of energy. Which everything is. I totally agree. It is a waste of energy. And when I drove over to there, I started off at Dunkirk. Well, I got to Calais. There was about 6, 7 of us, and we're following the convoy. And I had a big. What did I have? I had a Toyota Space Cruiser. It was an old beaten up pile of crap. It didn't matter. But it's taxi insured, and we got it. It drove over there. We had no issues. Bit greedy on fuel. It was petrol. It wasn't diesel. And we started off at Calais. Ended up in Dunkirk, and then we went on to the Netherlands, and then we went from the Netherlands, and then we started to branch off into Germany. So there was no borders at the point then, so you can just keep driving at the end of it. And we ended up in a small town in. Actually a couple of towns in Germany. Really lovely place. I'd love to go back to Germany. It was so lovely and clean. The people were so polite. I had a much better welcome in Germany than in Dutch as well as in France. The French really don't like the British people. They really don't like them. If they know you're British, they will spit at you. That's how bad it was. We didn't really get a warm welcome in France. And that's weird, isn't it? Yeah. But in German, the German people were lovely. Absolutely went out their way. They shook our hand. They knew we was a Brit, and we like everything. Respect means respect. We respect everyone at the end of the day, and we're all in our 50s plus, a lot of our stuff. So we're not in a situation. We're not young hooligans just causing trouble. We're there to go to the war memorials and pay our respects. And, and they're grateful. For people like that, they know that them type of people, that they're not there to cause trouble. They're there to pay their respects and that fun. And they're really grateful. And the Germans were. They really went out their way. And we stayed at this camp in, where was it? In Bonn. Lovely little town. Beautiful little town. All cobbled streets. Had all the old gas lights. It looked like from a 1940s film, like war film, but it's just the way it was, and it was so cosy. It felt like home, and I didn't want to come home, and that's what it felt like. It really did give off that feel. And there was a lovely little cake shop down there, beautiful, and the little woman, she made all the homemade cakes, and what she said, she spoke pretty good English. We never spoke no German, so. Us being ignorant, we only speak one language. We're not bilinguals. Well, so none of us really did speak any, very little. We, a little bit of French, and they understood French because they spoke multiple languages, but mainly in German. They understand a little bit in English in Germany, but not a lot. But yeah, this little old woman, she must have been in her 70s. She's probably dead now, bless her, at the end of the day. And she owned this little cake shop where we walked down. We just wanted to explore while we were staying in a campsite near the Rhine, and it was a beautiful little village. And it was about 10 o'clock at night, and the shops were still open at the end of the day. You know, there was no, you didn't see kids causing trouble, people walking. It just felt like an evening, and it was just lovely to walk down. I felt safe. I felt, you know, it's not like you go outside in the UK, you've got to wear an anti-stab vest before you might get a knife in you, which is things. But yeah, the woman come out, as we said thank you, she come out, she left the door open, you know, with all the till with all the money in and everything, and she come out and give us all some free cakes. Yeah, the same here in Sweden. See, again, I wanted to go to Sweden. That was one of my hit places that I wanted to go to. But really lovely place, you know, at the end of the day. Yeah, it's the same. Sweden is another one. You know, I wanted to have a look. But again, lovely, really nice little places at the end of the day. They're memories that they'll always treasure because, like you said, but she come out, that little woman, she didn't have to do it. She'd give off the remaining cakes because it was all euros over there. We don't use euros. We're the only, UK again, only use pound. We use GDP, so we use pound notes and coins. And most of the European countries, they use euros. So, yeah, everything was, I didn't understand euros. It's bloody confusing. But my friend was quite good at mathematics, and he worked it all out quite well. So we kept badgering him, and in the end, it got the ump because we kept asking him, "How much is that in English money?" At the end of the day, so that's all we kept asking. But she come out and give us all some little cakes that was remaining in the shop. We went to give her some euros, but she wouldn't take it. Absolutely wouldn't take it. Yeah, we don't use euros either. So yeah, oh, Corona, yes. So yeah, that's the sweet of her. Yeah, that is, it's absolutely beautiful. I would say that was only in Bonn, and we stayed on the River Rhine, right? Literally, the tide never come in. Our tent was literally 10 foot away from where the Rhine was. Because remember, these D-Day landings that got taken on, King Charles and the Queen was over in Germany, because that's where the convoy was, and we was following the convoy as if they would have done back in 1943. So there would have been a convoy of the Brits going into Germany, try and take over the Germans at the end of the day. But yeah, really great. We spent a week over in Germany, and I couldn't think. Do you know what? I didn't want to. That week went so fast. We all said the same thing. I didn't want to come home. We just wanted to stay in Germany, and I think it's one place. I think, you know, now the UK's got to like it. I mean, I don't know what it's like. That was back 15 years ago, so it's probably changed since. But that little town won't change because it's been like that since the war days. Because we asked someone, and they said no, it's been like that since the war ended, and they kept it. They got all the original gas lighting, and it really gives off a lovely soft glow. And it just feels warm, but it's a really lovely little town, and it's just off from Bonn. It is absolutely lovely little town to do. But yeah, I would say out of all the places, Germany, I would like to explore more there. And I've got it all on video because I'm the only one that only had a video camera. I had one of them old camcorders. You have to keep putting the tapes in, and I've got it all on tape anyway. So me driving over I drove over the bridge. There was a couple of bridges that got blown up, and they redone. But yeah, we have the old gas lights. Beautiful. Can't beat the old gas lighting at the end of the day. Absolutely beautiful. But yeah, unbelievable. on that front. But yeah, really nice thing really lovely little place to go back. So if I could go back, I think I'd like to go back to where I was, because we all said the same thing. All my friends, they said, if we can go back to Germany, because we just had such a warm welcome. All the Germans, right? We'll put it this way: the first night we camped the tent up, it was dark. We had to put the tent up in the dark, and there was no lights, right? And there was a little town, because this was in the middle of the field. There was no lights. This was all part of the commemorative sort of things that they was doing at the time. And these Germans come on, and they had some really cool bikes, and I loved the bikes that they had. They had Harley Davidsons, the old Harley Davidsons, and Honda Goldwings. And my friend drives a motorbike. He's got a Harley Davidson, but these were the old classics. These were the really old type of Honda Harley Davidsons, and one of them come in. Well, it was two of them. Two of them had Honda Goldwings, the 1980s ones, and they're all my all-time favourite bikes. And lovely bikes they were. And the funny thing is, these Germans pulled up in a medium-sized tent. It took them about 10 minutes. There was about 4 of them. Next minute, on the back of this Harley Davidson and the other bike that he was driving, he was pulling out crates. I went, Jesus, how's he pulled them out? He was pulling out crates of Corona beer, the German beer, at the end of the day. And it's in a green bottle. It's like Grolsch. It's a German beer. But they had Corona. They was all pulling out different beers. I mean, tell me he's not got all them out of the bike. Surely not, at the end of the day. This on the Goldwing, he was just pulling them out as if it was like a transit van. I went, what? Seriously, there must have been about 8, 9 crates. I don't know how he managed to squeeze them in, but he got them on that bike, and he's pulling them out. Next minute, he's got the barbecue going. This is about 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. We're tired. We've got to be up in the morning because we want to go follow the. Obviously, we've got to unpack we got to leave the tent there because we're staying there. We zip the tent up. I said, but we want to make a very 9 o'clock start. Next minute, the Germans have come over. Literally, because we're about 2 tents away. You drink, eat, in it, because he didn't speak much English. Come, he said. Next minute, he's grabbed one of my friend's hands, pulled us all over, drink, eat, and he's pulling out massive steaks. Now, I'm a vegetarian, I don't eat meat. At the end of the day, he said, drink. He's given us all these free drinks. He's all these steaks. There's peppers, it was bloody everything there. I went, he's pulled all that off the bike. I went, I don't know how he's done it. But I'll tell you what, I would not hesitate to go back. One place I'd never felt so welcomed in all my life. I said, I can't. I'm trying to explain I'm a vegetarian at the end of the day. And he didn't understand. He's trying to give me steak and I don't eat it. And I said, no, I can't. I said, and he thought he's trying to say something in his German. My friend's trying to explain to him he doesn't eat meat. He's going, next minute he's giving me a plate of vegetables. And I said, yeah, thank you. And then I put my thumbs up, trying to give him the sign, saying, yeah, thank you for that. And then he was fine after that. So there was a bit of a language issue because we don't speak German and they didn't speak much English. So, on that front. But, yeah, unbelievable. First night. I think the time I went to bed, it was about 2 to 3 in the morning. We only had about 3 hours, 4 hours sleep. That's all we had. We had to get up again. We was absolutely cream cracker tonight to drive so many, about nearly 100 kilometres to follow this suit to come back. And, so I was really dead tired on that front. But, yeah, great night. It was all part of it. I didn't expect that to be on the list when it comes to the driving side to it. Yeah, story absolutely brilliant. But yeah, I've literally, I can say that I've travelled just a little bit, not too far, but I have travelled. I have been abroad. At least I've been abroad on that front, and I didn't expect to drive that far distance, but it wasn't too bad. I think it was 1,000 miles in the UK, so to do the 1,000 miles, you need to calculate that in kilometres. but that was the total journey. That's what I've done. Started off at Calais, ended up in Dunkirk, then into Belgium and Holland, and then in little places, then into Germany at the end of it. So yeah, if you do your calculations, but yeah, really great. I mean, I wouldn't hesitate. I don't know if I could actually do it again, because you know, things like that. Except from Sweden, I've only been to Finland and Spain. Yeah, that front. The only one place I've been to in Spain on my holiday is San Antonio, because it was a resort basically. So, but yeah, look. So the main thing is, this is now, it sort of catches a little bit, just a little bit, but it ain't too bad. I was in Eastern, it was really nice. You know what, this is what I'm saying, you know, you only live once, make the most of it, you know. I mean, now I'm in my mid-50s, I would expect thinking at the end of it, you know, I wish I'd done more. But it literally, at least I have been somewhere. Not like some people have not done nothing at the end of the day. I think I ain't done bad. I do a lot for charities now, so this is the reasons why most everything I do, you know, everything now is my way of saying thank you at the end of it. And, you know, and I'll get rewarded for it, for doing a lot. I don't know how much I've raised for charity, but it's quite a few. It's quite a few £1,000 at the end of the day, because all what I've saved in electricals, I've give back on that front. So they've done quite well. But yeah, I wish I could go back to Germany. That I 100% I really could. But yeah, I'm a little bit gutted with that, because that little cap is missing. That grey cap right above there. I can't put that one on, because this is where the door sits. There's a door that sits on this. So I'm going to have to contact, as it is, I was one brick missing here, which I had to put a grey piece in at the end of the day. And I've just looked in that bag. Have I got any pieces that I can put in its place? I might be able to use, what about if I use one of them? Are they the same depth? Yeah. I don't think I can put them in though, can I? No, you can't, unfortunately. Oh, that's a bummer. I thought I could use one of these little bits, but they've got like a little, you know, these are some of the spare pieces that they give you. But I'm going to have to contact them. Oh, we are. There's one in here. Oh, but the only thing is, it's in black. It doesn't matter. Oh, thank God for that. Yeah, put one on. They give you a spare black one. So I've got one black, one grey at the end of the day. It doesn't matter. Oh, that was handy actually. That was quite handy to do. So at least now, but I don't know what these pieces are for. What the heck did they give me these? I mean, I don't put these on at the side, because they don't connect to it, I think. I can't connect them. I don't get why they said... Let me look on the book, because the book basically is saying... the book, when I put this together... Right? No, the book don't tell you. No. Ah! They go down the bottom. Ah, see? Look. On the back, these pieces, this is why you've got to put spacers. They go right down the bottom. And I thought, what did they get these for? Look, they go down the bottom. They clip onto these blue pages, and I'll show you where these go. I thought, hang on, I shouldn't be having them big pieces over. Surely not. And they literally clip. So we've got these, if I put this up in here. So you've got, now I've put the spacers in, you've also got these pieces here as well. So they look like they clip in. So I think that's to give it strength. So we've got one there, and it does. It's to tie it all in. I thought that was. So when the back sits on, it sits nice and flush. So you've got something for the back to sit on. That's it. So you're not going to see the colour anyway. I mean, one's grey, one's black. I'm just lucky that I had that. So that's what that piece is for. So it literally sits. But when you look at the back, you can see the arm working that turns all the character. One's jamming up. Is that because it's standing up? Yeah, it is. It's got to stand it up. You can't lay it down. So when you're doing this, you can't. I had to make all this up because all of this was actually a little bit of a complication at the end of the day. But I need to put. I can put the wheels back on that because I ain't put the high scores in. So I can do that because it does turn. So that's one good aspect. So I can put that in. I'm glad I found that piece and I've put that in. So that is for episode 11 of finishing of the arcade one-up, not the one-up, the Bartop Lego. So it does look cool now, I've got to admit. I absolutely love it. I mean, I'm just grateful that I found that because that was really bugging me because I thought, I can't believe it, they've left me a piece out again at the end of the day. So yeah, I'm thinking tomorrow. I think that's it now. I'm absolutely pooped. I can't do any more. I've streamed enough. I've really cracked on with this, and it's now really started to come along. But I'm thinking, you know, enough's enough. I'm on bag 12. So this was episode 11. So I've got after 12. I'll only have 2 more bags to do. So hopefully. And I've got some editing to do because I've got to edit all this stuff and then upload it onto YouTube at the end of the day. So, but yeah, hopefully that ain't going to be too big, and then I can put that on there. That looks about the same size as my other bar top that I've got on there. So this will sit actually with all my other stuff, which I've got. It's going to be sitting over there with my other bar. It's going to be sitting over my other little mini bar top and my other arcade sitting on there. So yeah, this will look cool when it's all done on that front. But hopefully, yeah, I've got to put the joystick in, and there's another button for it to go in. But I want to do an LED. I think I want to put some little LEDs in because look, there's some gaps here. I know this goes round. Right, at the end of the day, but these gaps here, I can put some little, like these ones, I can replace these and put little orange pellets in, so these glow up orange at the end of the day. So if I took them out at the end of it, I can't put one down here because the chain's in the way, but it looks like the Pac-Man's now eating. It only goes around a certain way, but it does look cool at the end of it. But I might put some custom LEDs. I can't put none down the side here, but I might better put some inside and light this up and put it on a button system. You know, because this one's on a button. Obviously, it lights up because you're pushing it down. But I'm sure I can rig something up that I can put it on. So I don't know. I'll have to do a bit of investigation. I've got plenty on that front at the end of it. Oh, I know why. That's mechanical. You know when I was saying to you, where's the bit? So you can turn that mechanical for your highest score. I think that's what you can do. So it's a mechanical bit on that front. But it does look cool, and I've got to admit, it's worth it. By the time I put all the artwork on and clean it all up, I've got a little bit more, but this is now nearly finished. And I'm saying, thank God it is, because this has been one heck of a challenge putting this bugger together. You know, it has given me a headache, but it does look nice with the black, dark black and the bright yellows. So I do like that. It's right retro sort of look. But yeah, made out of Lego. I wouldn't like to do another one. So this one's been challenging enough. But yeah, thanks Carfor. But I'm going to be back on again tomorrow, probably on that front. But because I want to finish this off. So I'm hoping if I'm on 12, hopefully tomorrow I should be able to finish the stream on the last 2 and call that done. So yeah, take it easy, buddy. Speak to you soon. So yeah, I'm going to call it a day on this one, and I'm going to continue where we left off from which will be tomorrow. on that, folks. So catch you later, guys. See you later. Take it easy.